he could choke me out with it.
Why do you always have to go there? It's crazy. His haircut being like a sex thing.
Hey, you made it a sex thing. I made it a murder thing.
He was killing people.
See what he did there?
I had a raging Woody as he choked me out. It was a sex thing.
It's perfect for like the viral walk-in video. Like
this right now.
That's not helpful.
And you get yelled at so intensely. Stepping goal attack.
2, 3, in we go. Well done, everyone. Proud.
Nice.
And then Spike!
Oh, Spike!
Spike!
Oh, yes! What is happening with the ball? It's getting smashed!
There's only one god, ma'am, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
Good.
I'm Nick and welcome to Back Pocket for Thursday, the 2nd of September, live from the Loki Studios tonight on Back Pocket. It's a ton of games, and then a lot of annoyances, and then 3 samurai. And I'm joined by my favorite honorable people included.
Founder of Gus's overacting school, Gus. And with me as well.
Is Stephanie, who honestly didn't finish her dinner, so I'm just eating the last of my quiche. How?
It's pronounced Quitchy.
Quitchay.
Also, next to me.
Yes, I am.
Good.
There you go. There you go.
What kind of quiche are we eating?
Spinach, the best.
Spinach
true.
better.
OG.
That's true.
OG.
Yeah.
Good.
It's good.
Or Quickie, as some people pronounce it.
Do they?
On Tinder.
Do they?
Yeah.
I went on Tinder looking for quiche, and that was an eye-opening experience.
Very fast quiche.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Welcome everybody to another evening of Back Pocket. You thought you could get rid of us by making Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then we came back with a Thursday,
No,
baby.
Came right around
Friends.
again.
It's good. It's good to be. It's good to be back. Has it been a weird day for anybody else? Been a weird feeling day.
Has it been a weird feeling months?
Yeah,
I
potentially.
was going to say week, but then month, sums it up as well. So yeah.
I think my issue is that I've very much gotten into that thing where I just never know what day it is because every day feels the same. And I guess also on weekends I end up just working anyway because there's nothing else to do. So I'm sort of like, I don't want to watch TV all day. I play some games with friends and then I'm like, I guess I'll finish that edit. So then it kind of just feels like every day is a work day and every day is the same.
I'm having a weird sort of side effect from obviously everything that a lot of Australia is going through, and I realize that some people are doing it a lot tougher, and so this is a very small issue to have. But I'm having what I'm going to coin transplantative dreams. I'm having dreams that are convincing me I am somewhere else. Like, you know, sometimes you have a dream, and as you wake up, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I live here, and this is my name, and here's who I am, and this is my life, and it like takes a second to kind of re-register. Or your dream was like you were yourself. I'm having like the fully deep dreams that put me somewhere else. I wake up and have to remember exactly. Like it's a shock that I live in Sydney and I'm 30 something, and I have to remind myself about all that, and that's happening like every second night. It's kind of weird.
But is this a good thing? Like, are you having dreams where you're like, oh god, I'm off somewhere else, and I'm like, I am a pina colada on a beach, and it's been a really nice
the dreams,
night,
the dream. I realized talking about dreams as well, incredibly boring. But
as long as you don't tell us in detail what they are.
Yeah, okay, fair
I
enough.
love talking about dreams. I'm a very vivid dreamer. I dream and almost every night, and I have a lot of nightmares.
Oh no, we're going into so much detail.
Oh my god.
It's more about, it's very discombobulating in the morning, and it's like usually you get one of them a week or on like a Sunday when you're like, wait a minute, it's Sunday, it's not Tuesday or something. That is every morning, so it's a little exhausting in the mornings. But yeah, the dreams are fine. I don't want to talk about them. Okay. It's just like, yeah,
that's okay.
It put me somewhere else, and I feel like it's a side.
We'll have a sidebar later, Gus. I want to hear all about your dreams.
Post show.
All right, Steph,
Dream show.
You can look at me very differently when you do.
Wait, what?
No, he means you look at him with respect. I just feel like I've had a very sad 24 hours. I don't know why. I've just been in a very sad place very depressed, and
Get it.
I did a little meditation this afternoon. That's helped a little bit. And I realized, talking to you guys, being on camera, having some fun with some friends, this
Force
is
that
exactly
fun
the
out.
anecdote
Force
that I
that
need.
happy.
Force that fun out. Just force
Smile
it.
like you mean it.
You gotta peek him in a close-up. You gotta be happy on camera.
Not enough eye twitch in that. There it is. There it is.
But then you also have to do the spawn point direction of just like, can you do it again, but like more excited? Which I always translated into open your eyes and mouth wider when you deliver the line.
Yep. Listen with more, like listen happier. Like I don't know if anyone listens happy, but on Kids TV you got to listen happily.
Yeah.
I told you.
Wow.
I told you that my friend texted me about that, right?
Yes. About on Spawn Point, the kind of the reactions are just as intense as the people who are talking.
Yeah, and that he was like, I've never seen. Oh, I can't find it right now. But he was like, that's right. My favorite thing watching Good Game Spawn Point is watching the presenter who isn't talking. They perform listening. It's amazing.
I will do it. Nicholas, give us a few lines about a game that you're enjoying, and I will Spawn Point react for you.
So the game that I've been playing is a sandbox cooking game called Cooking Mama's Sandbox, where you make food pies out of sand. What do you think about that, Steph?
Steph, what about some contextual yums, like mouthing the yum, like tasty? I just realized you can't rub your belly in a close-up. You just end up rubbing your torso.
Don't do that.
There it is.
And I promise this will segue us into the next thing that we need to do. But that same friend, this is
Had a
my friend
dream.
Clark, who
And let me tell you all.
It was his son's birthday a couple of weeks ago, who I wish happy birthday to. He's also the one that does the great Hugh Jackman singing impression.
Yes.
But he is the reason he can do that is he's a very good observer of people. And he said that we both watched that Val Kilmer documentary on Amazon Prime. I don't know if anyone else has seen it. Val.
No, but I really
watch
want to. I've heard it's an intense watch because
It
it's
is.
like
It's a real recontextualizing of what you think about Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And the kind
I
of
don't think I
person that
know
he
what I
is.
think about him, so that would be an interesting
and
twofold experience. Like, yeah.
Totally.
I
And
think he's
was the same.
Iceman.
Yep, and so I definitely recommend watching this movie because it's a trip.
He's my Batman.
He has lost his voice because he had to have throat surgery. And his son
he had throat cancer, I think. So he
Yes.
has like
has that
had
thing.
like a tracheotomy or whatever you call it.
Yeah. And so his son narrates the documentary, but his son sounds exactly like Val Kilmer when Val Kilmer was younger. So it's very and Val Kilmer wrote the doco, so it's in the first person. So it really does sound like young Val Kilmer is narrating. Anyway, my mate Clark texted me and said regarding the Val Kilmer documentary, his son has the exact same voice as him. It made me think that when you lose your voice, the young Will from Good Game will narrate your doco.
Not your son, but yeah, there he is.
What's that background at the moment?
Oh, it's so
you know
funny.
Yep, I know what's going on there.
Did
It was your party background from last week. I just showed
Did you
Will.
like panic cut to Will? And
I
then
didn't
he
panic cut to him.
Oh no, it felt like you panic cut away from Will, as though suddenly we saw something. Because I was about to introduce him, and then suddenly he's gone.
Oh, no, he just doesn't have it. We're behind him right now. The background that should be there, the birthday background, is not there.
That's right. The one with the confetti. We've taken the confetti away. We've
I
swept
took the
it up.
confetti
It's
away.
gone.
Right, okay.
And
It
with
looks the same to me.
entire virtual studio.
So it's the same.
Hang on. I'm still
Wait,
here.
what? Oh,
Oh, wait.
There.
go back.
Oh, God damn it.
Hey, look,
This is
fun with
almost as
portals.
boring as talking about dreams.
but I'm down here.
Will, how are you? How are you, Will? How are you?
What kind of dreams are you having, Will?
I'm having dreams where you wake up and think you've sent a text message, and then you get really scared and open your phone and go, "Did I send that text message?" And you didn't send that text message
Because it was a bad text message?
Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well,
Should you
it could
have
be
sent a
either.
text message?
It depends on the reaction of the text message. But I go to sleep having sent that text message in the dream, and then I wake up going, "Did I send that text message?"
Oh,
That's
right.
what-
That
So
was
you're
almost
you
an Inception
sending
pitch.
messages.
You go to
Yeah.
bed and the text is in the dream, but then when you wake up,
But it's
if
not
you-
there.
Yeah. If
So
you
I'm still confused. Did you want to send the text message in real life and you're worried you didn't, or you
Yeah,
were worried that you text
well, it's
someone some
I
bullshit?
feel like the stakes of this dream are very dependent on that fact.
Well, it's a situation that occurred in the dream. So I've sent a text in regards to something that hasn't happened in real life. So I
Eggplant
worry.
water squirts.
What?
Yeah, Dolphinpants knows. It's all about booty calls.
I see.
The equivalent of writing you up as a text in a dream is you awake or you asleep. It's like
You asleep.
You're asleep.
You want a dream hookup?
What's that great? Sorry, the opening line
Your
in
top still spinning.
what's that great Ted Lasso line at the beginning? When he says to the coach, it's like, hey, if we see each other in each other's dreams, let's pretend like we don't know each other. Such a lovely line. Let's mess around and pretend we don't know each other.
That would imply you have control over how you are in your dream, which would be lucid, and that's different altogether.
Which is very exciting. Very exciting. That moment when you realize you're lucid dreaming and you're like, got to do it all. Got to do everything right now. And I know I've only got a couple of minutes before I wake up. At best. At best.
My version is, I know I've only got a few minutes before I wake up, and you're like, damn it. It's every time. Every time.
I was about to walk on stage as Enrique Iglesias.
What?
Have you been doing the New York Times crossword as well?
Was Enrique Iglesias in the New York Times
Enrique
crossword?
Iglesias was one of the clues yesterday.
He
the
was.
biggest Latin pop star in the world.
There you go. Did not.
Yeah.
Surely that's Ricky Martin.
No.
Enrique, come on.
Steph. It's 2021. It's Enrique.
can't
I
put
mean,
it up.
I'm surprised it's still Enrique Iglesias. Like,
He can be my
Enrique
hero any
Iglesias
day.
was on, he would have been on the Pepsi chart hits CDs.
Yeah.
Like, he's been around for a while.
Yeah. I would think, I would go to Shakira before Enrique.
Shakira,
still
Shakira. You have
I'm
to say
loving the
that,
crossword.
and then if you say it
Do you?
twice, then she appears.
Yep. She is
Oh, wow.
Candyman.
So it's more efficient than Candyman and more
Yeah.
fun. If we're being real honest.
These hips will crush you.
Yeah, imagine Candyman turned up. It was just like, look at my breasts are small and humble. You'd just be like, you're not as scary as I imagined you were.
And Hook.
And hook and
I
see.
know all we're doing is just delaying the start of the show. And a lot of the delaying at the start of the show is me just reading things from my phone. But I'm going to read one more thing, which is a
Dream
tweet.
talk.
A tweet from a couple of days ago from Mike Scully. Mike Scully, one of the writers from The Simpsons and Parks and Rec, who said, having to say Candyman's name 5 times sounds like a writer padding a short script. And I appreciated that. Will, before we move on with the rest of the show and boot you to the nether realms, do you have any baked treats to surprise us with today?
Any relatives hiding in like airy corners of your room?
I've got an empty cashew thing that I've filled up with like Smarties. So that's
Is your auntie in it?
No,
Okay.
my auntie.
You know it doesn't count as health food if you just put unhealthy food back in health food containers.
There were nuts. There were
And
nuts.
also,
There you go.
cashews are pretty fatty as well.
Well,
delicious.
not
That's good fat. That's good fat.
Yeah.
These were honey roasted as well. So.
Oh man!
Oh, okay, that's better.
Okay, yeah, those Smarties are better for you
Give
than
me
what was
those.
in there before. So if
Give me
anything, it's an
those.
upgrade.
I was going to say, much of a muchness, but yeah, you've definitely upgraded.
Oh,
You're on the path to a healthy future.
Have we upgraded from Dream Talk to Nut Chat, or is this an up or a downwards trajectory? I
And
don't
nut
know.
chat is what I try to do in my lucid
Nut
dreams
chat.
before I wake up.
Nut, comma, chat.
Right.
Cool.
Full circle. Let's bring it back.
So tired. That
You-
shouldn't be that funny.
You broke
That's
Gus.
a fucking
You
banger.
broke Gus.
That's a banger. Don't you dare downgrade my joke to something that's only funny because you're exhausted. Okay, should we move on with the rest of the program?
Probably.
Yeah, let's do it.
Probably.
I'm for Nut Chat.
I think he's saying I?
I think he is too.
Saying
There we go.
what y'all been playing? Brought to you by Brent Jones, aka LokiCat, aka I'd nut chat with this guy. In a lucid dream, I'd want him to turn up. I think he's a fascinating person. He's got so many interests, and he is also very sweet and helpful.
Sweet as a honey roasted nut.
And it's bad for you as well.
But difficult to crack like a cashew. No, not a cashew.
wait.
A pistachio.
Walnut.
Pistachio.
Yeah,
Pistachios different.
Pistachios
They're
are
not
pretty
difficult to
easy.
crack. They're easy to
They're
crack.
like, yeah. I'd say on the
A walnut, right?
even peanuts are more annoying to
There's a
crack than a
device for
pistachio.
cracking walnuts. There's not like you get those
Yeah, but there's a
pistachios where
device
they're
for doing everything. Like if you can't crack it with your hand, then I assume it's hard. Like
What the
that's
fuck
like
is this
saying
show?
it's easy to crush a car. No, it's not. You need a car crusher. You can't just pick up a car and crush it.
Do you know there's a tool for opening macadamia nuts? You can buy them in their like round nut shells with like a slice around the middle, and you get a little metal wedge and you snap it in half like that, and they're not chocolate coated. That when you opened it the first time and bit into it with your teeth and thought it was actually a chocolate coated macadamia and chipped your tooth, which is what I did a month ago.
Wait, you put a unshucked macadamia in your mouth thinking it was a chocolate covered macadamia?
So they look, when they're like in the little round versions of them, I just got the packet in a gift basket. It was like, oh cool, chocolate coated macadamia nuts. And then I grabbed one and they feel like a Malteser, threw it straight in my mouth and bit. And as I did, it was like, holy hell.
Oh, God, that's
and the tooth made a weird noise. I think I'm okay though. It just bleeds a little.
The tooth?
No, just my mouth.
All right.
I've been playing.
We've got enough nut talk that this could be a regular segment.
I think, okay, can I write it down? Can we do nut talk next week? I think it would be great. Let's this is a great way to do the show. No, this is a great way to do the show, which is we come up with a segment live on air and we commit to a segment name, and then next week we just need to figure out what that segment is. So
we'll bring a bag of our favorite nuts and we all talk about them.
Yeah, it's not going to be dirty.
No.
We need, next week we need to do a segment called Nut Talk. And
no, Nut Chat.
Was it Nut Chat?
Nut Chat.
It's gotta be nut. I'm gonna nut, chat.
Nut Chat. Okay. Nut Chat. So next week we're gonna do Nut Chat, and we'll figure out what that is.
Welcome back to the Legume Lounge, where we're talking nuts today. A legume is another word for a nut.
Steph's like, all right. We're officially done.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the video games that we've been playing, everybody.
Let's, please.
Sure thing. Well, I'll kick things off with something I got my hands on earlier this week. Actually, last week. It was a preview build of Far Cry 6, which is not out yet. But preview embargoes dropped for that, so a lot of footage and things have dropped on the internet, and it's all basically the first couple of hours of the game. And yeah, I was actually fortunate enough to get to play this and get a couple of hours in it, and kind of do the opening tutorial area and then skipped ahead to a larger area where it's kind of like dumped me into the middle of the game with a bunch of all the unlocks and stuff like that to play around with and just experience the island, or I think the country of Yas, and there's lots of islands and big regions around it. Basically, it's back to the kind of tropics from, if you want to say, Far Cry 3, and it is very much more Far Cry. It is, if you like the Far Cry formula, it is not shying away from being pretty much just everything you like about that series. Now, done without, I want to say, without too many revolutionary kind of tweaks, apart from the people. And because there you go.
It's a revolution story.
First and foremost, I was really happy with the setting. I thought 5 was fun, but it just felt a little, I don't know, being in the Midwest America was all right. I really didn't like the one in Nepal as much. That was super, super undulating and kind of like Far Cry 4. But did really like 3, and actually loved the early Far Cry games and all the kind of spin-offs that were like Far Cry Predator and Far Cry Instinct, I want to say. But for me, it's always been about a tropical island. Primal, thank you. It's always been about a sort of tropical environment because it just works so well with all the kind of like I don't know, all the jungle and the beautiful oceans. It's like going on a really chaotic holiday. And yeah, this was good fun. The cool new elements to it that I got to experience was pretty much the most of it had to do with basically the crafting system around weapons and gear. Essentially, it's instead of XP that leads to skill points, which has been, I think, in pretty much the last couple of games. I didn't play much of the expansion to 5, which was with the twins, that was called Far Cry.
I don't think anyone did.
The neon apocalyptic one called Far Cry.
Far Cry. It was called Far Cry
Harvest Moon.
Far Cry New Dawn.
New Dawn. I don't know if it was in this, so I'm just speaking from the games I have played. But instead of the XP system with skill points, it's now basically about different bits of gear that you get, and you've got like clothing, and they all come with different stat boosts, and you can pair and put them together. So some make you quieter, some make you more resistant to fire. So you can kind of custom build your character that way. And then the weapons in the game that you get to tinker with by basically you do a lot of crafting, and one of them is making these, I think, resolver weapons, which are basically the fun stuff you saw in the trailer. And they're all these kind of like, homemade, over-the-top weapons, including like sort of an AoE cooldown backpack and like guns that I'm not going to say they were that interesting in the sense that like their fire rates and stuff didn't feel as effective as just going to like a really good, assault rifle with a scope. Like I could clear the game with that. But I'm sure they have their uses for missions later on and stuff like that. So, it was cool. The character you're seeing here, it's is Danny, and you can play as a male or a female. And Danny, the surname is Rohan. Danny Rohan.
No, it's not.
It is. It 100% is. It's no. The surname is the one from Ted Lasso. Is it Danny? What's his
Danny
surname?
Rojas. Yeah.
Danny Rojas.
Yeah,
It is that. Yeah. Apparently, I didn't see this.
Live.
Yes, the football is live guy. Apparently, at the start of the game, you see like a passport and you pick your pick male or female, and that is the surname on it. But obviously, Danny, the name works in it. So yeah, people were making some pretty Danny Rojas. Pretty funny observations. And then the other cool thing is that I got a little bit to play with is the amigos, which are these sidekicks you take with you, which are kind of like you can summon them and dismiss them, and they turn up and you can basically send them in as an AI-controlled attacker. There's Guapo the alligator, or crocodile, I should say, that like goes in and does what you think they would do, starts like tearing up people from like tearing their legs up. But then there's also like a really aggressive chicken, or rooster, I should say. And then the one that everyone was, going goo-goo-eyed over in the trailer is Chorizo, which is the little... it's a Dachshund Dachshund sausage dog that's got no back legs, so it's got little wheels on the back of it, and it's a puppy that runs around, and it is the most adorable thing you've ever seen. It feels
useless in a fight though.
Well, the point is you can send it into enemy encampments and you can distract enemies with it, and then you can get the, kill on them like that. And then it can go in and kind of hassle them. It feels cheap in the sense that it's like, it's so cute and it doesn't belong in this game, and they know everyone's just going to absolutely fall in love with it and do everything they can to protect it. So it doesn't really feel part of the world, but it's so cute, and it's going to be the one I run around with the whole time. Are they with you all the time? Or is it just certain missions that you can... I'm pretty sure
you just pop them out when you need them.
Pretty much, yeah. You go to a menu that you saw before, and you can summon them and dismiss them as you see fit. They can be downed. You have to run and revive them, but I don't think they can ever obviously be killed permanently. They're just you have to at the end of once you've cleared an area. In terms of everything else, the AI is exactly how you'd expect, but that's kind of really nice. If you've played Far Cry games, you know how to trick them or move around them, that kind of stuff. It's all about scoping out areas. I think there's the sort of boundaries around what is considered like a fortress or an outpost from previous games is it's a little more of a gray area in terms of there's just hostile areas with resources. It's not like you go into a base, you clear it, goes to cutscene. That still happens, but I think there are variations of it everywhere, peppered around the island. So it feels a little more organic. It feels a little less like someone made it in a Far Cry map editor, so to speak. Then there's heaps of other vehicles and stuff I didn't get to play with, which there's I think I saw in the trailer, there's a car that you can then press a button and the wings come out and you can launch off into the air. So there's all sorts of batshit crazy stuff in it. But it looks just like a big fun sandbox, and they know that's what this series is. So I don't think it's shaken up the formula massively, which I'm actually relieved about. So it's looking good. It's
Did you get to go to the city at all?
No. I went from this island to, I don't know if we scrub sort of near the tail of the clip. I went to the main island, which has
much left.
Okay. Well, the main island has bigger towns, but no, I didn't go to the main city. I did read, I'm pretty sure that it's the biggest Far Cry map. I don't know why they wouldn't try that, considering it's always a good thing to slap on the next version of your game. There's a bit of base building elements to it, which is kind of new as well, which I liked. So I think it's got a few more sort of quality of life things for the Far Cry formula. Oh, the other one being, which is a huge relief, which is you can holster your weapon. So if you're trying to just get around doing a few things, there's bad guys everywhere. And the problem with Far Cry games is always you were just trying to do an objective, pick some flowers, do something, and an enemy patrol would spawn behind you because the game's hey, you need action around you. And the guards would do that little ding, dung, 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 and then they'd start attacking you. And that was always frustrating. Whereas here, you can holster your weapon, you can bribe guards and stuff like that. So I feel it's not trying to turn into a deep, rich RPG, but they're adding a few things which clearly, pissed people off in the past. So I think that's a smart idea.
Do you get a sense of what the characters are like, and if you feel like they feel well-rounded and like contributing to a story that's going to be cool? Because I always find that with Far Cry, that kind of my enjoyment of it hinges on me sort of caring about the people in it and wanting to be. I know it's a big open world game where you do a bunch of stuff, but like I want to be invested in what's happening.
I think you will. Half the time in Far Cry games, I feel like you play as a douchebag, and a lot of the time I'm like, just let the guy die.
Yeah, I think even in
or you have a lot of douchebag friends.
Yeah, I think in this one, it's back to seeing your character in third-person cutscenes and like talk, and that character has a voice a lot more than the previous games. Yeah, I know in 3, you were the Brody guy.
Douche Broden.
But then I feel like in 4 and 5, you were nameless and voiceless almost.
You were, yeah.
So this one, you see yourself in the cutscenes, as I said before. You pick male and female, and that seems like it's cool because there's some character development. The guy you meet early on, Juan, who is basically like the badass old guy, teaches you the ways. Like, there's fun dialogue in there and stuff. So I think, they're definitely trying to push better characters. From what I've heard, the main bad guy, who is played by the guy whose name Nick and Pete always get, but I always forget. Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito, you got it.
Giancarlo Esposito. Apparently, he does a good performance, but he's at the start, and people aren't really sure whether or not he's going to keep coming back. I mean, that happens with a lot of the villains in Far Cry games. So they make a really good entrance, and then you see them at the end of the game. So that might play into the fact that they only had him for a day.
You kind of want it to be sort of ticking over in the background that he's the big bad that you're going to face eventually. And if he keeps popping up, then it becomes that tension kind of ebbs a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the last thing I'll say is, those little like guerrilla camps that you do go back to, it's nice to have a safe zone in a Far Cry game. I think New Dawn had something similar, but I like that you can go to a safe area, you can work on your weapons, you can spend points as upgrades for like camp facilities. I think there's even a thing where you can like allocate, there's like, you can almost be sort of upgrading your camp to have more troops and then sending them out on missions, which is essentially a menu that you just you tinker with before going out and doing missions yourself, and you come back and collect the resources they've been gathering. So there's a bit of kind of behind the scenes resource gathering happening as part of your base. So I think all those little things always help me get a little more invested in the story that's being told versus the previous Far Cries. Sometimes you would just kind of you'd spawn into the game and you'd be standing, and the first thing you'd have to do loading a save state is like, now where am I and what was I doing? Whereas I think here they've centralized it into bases and stuff. So I think that might help the longevity of it. And I don't know what the rest of the characters like, but it looks fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I think it's definitely one of those things that's like, it's a game to lose yourself in and just like sink a lot of time into. So I think a lot of people are ready to do that. Then speaking of games that you can lose yourself in, another one I quickly picked up, this is becoming a common theme for me. Cloud Gardens is a game I saw was coming to Xbox. And so I looked it up because it looked really lovely. And turns out it's actually been on PC early access for a little bit, so I dived in to check that out on PC because I saw it looked like a game that would benefit from a mouse, which I ran into with the previous garden simulator game. Last week I played Islanders, and then the months before that I played Terra Null, and I found like this is a subgenre I'm really enjoying, which is these basically sort of propagating, growing games that let nature kind of be the currency and the progression. This is by the developers who did, is it Kingdom or Kingdoms, I want to say, which was that side-scrolling game where you kind of went left and right and picked up coins. It was in a really cute pixel art style. Not cute, actually, like really arty art style.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I think it was called Kingdoms, and like that game that was kind of a bit obtuse in terms of its gameplay systems, the start of this is all about sort of working out how the game works. It's not really given to you in a tutorial, but essentially you were getting these little dioramas that pop up, which are sort of sections of an apocalypse or like end of the world. And what you do is you plant a seed, and then you get that seed to grow by placing objects. Every time you place an object, it has like an area of effect that if it reaches the plant that you're trying to affect, the plant will grow. If the plant grows enough, you'll eventually bloom seeds, and then you can collect those seeds and plant more sections of plants. The plants themselves actually end up unlocking like cards. So it depends which card you have selected is the one that you start earning for as you collect seeds for it. So you might be growing a vine, but then you'll select kind of like a palm, and then you'll want to get enough seeds from one tree to make sure you can plant a palm. So it's a bit strange, and it kind of you get it once you start playing it. But essentially what you need to do, and these early levels aren't the best sort of way to demonstrate it, but later on you're trying to fit enough items into a space that can propagate enough plants without actually, eventually the items start to, you can damage and ruin the plant that you're trying to grow. And so there is, in the bottom left, you can see a little progression meter that if you don't grow enough with the seeds that you have, you can fail the level and have to restart. But it, I wouldn't say it's an incredibly like punishing game. It's actually really rewarding and quite nice to almost fail at and go, okay, I want to start this again and do it a bit better. And the music and the way the little sort of pixelated vines and stuff grow around is just so zen. Like, this is the most zen out of all the gardening games I've played thus far, because you make these beautiful little
all the gardening games. I love it.
It's like to the point that the game is actually every level that you start going through, you start unlocking items for a sandbox mode. So those are the cards that I was mentioning earlier on. It depends which one you select to go with. But near the tail of this clip, you'll see that there's a sandbox mode, which again is just like a really lovely way to build this beautiful, almost, I want to say, like, it starts so ugly, but you make something that looks like it could be a wallpaper or something like that for your PC. It's like, yeah, and it's just, as I said, like a fun spin on this little puzzler that is just very, very calming. And I can, yeah, so this is the sandbox mode, and this is me going like, okay, I'm going to make my own little sort of area here using all the objects I've grown, and just watching the stuff propagate as you plant it. I don't know, it's just so satisfying in games to grow something after being so destructive all these years. I know, am I right? Sorry, it sounds a bit wanky, but yeah, and then like, sorry Pete, if you skip to almost sort of the tail of this, you'll see it's like I've grown a kind of like this, I don't know, object that was, I don't know, it was fun, it was cool.
I'd live there.
Yeah.
I'd live there.
I end up
looks
losing.
like the Weasley house. You built the Weasley house.
I did too, actually. But yeah, I lost a lot more time to this than I expected, and yeah, I think it's on Xbox at the moment, and it's I've some of the things that people made that when I watched the trailer, I was like, that was the reason I have to play this. Like, people have created some amazing looking sort of recreations, but also just like very artistic and interesting kind of like expressions of digital art, which is what I would say it's closer to than a game sometimes. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. And again, music's lovely. Every little piece of aesthetic pop in this was just made you kind of go and take a breath. So yeah, very nice. Speaking of
that's why you're having weird dreams, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, yeah.
Am I in a construction site?
And then finally over the weekend I grabbed the beta for Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha, that's a good point. I grabbed the download for that and jumped onto that on PlayStation and played the alpha for Vanguard, which was basically one mode called Champions Hill. Mm-hmm. And we're back to World War II, and this is one of the new modes, but it was all that was playable in the alpha. And as a game mode, really quickly, it pits you and a teammate, so everyone's paired up. And I would say there's somewhere between, 8 to 10 pairs. You will begin in a starting area where you will spend a currency to grab weapons, upgrades, whatever gear you need. And then the game will essentially pair you all up using a kind of randomizer dice roll and be like, it's your pair against this pair. And all these little battle arenas are actually happening around that first area you saw. So they all happen exactly at the same time. Everyone runs around and tries to wipe out the other two people. It's kind of like gun game or gunfight from Modern Warfare. And yeah, it's just a 2v2. So you have these little standoffs with you and your teammate, and your currency in the bottom left, you can see there is your lives. So I think I'm in squad How, and we have 8 of 12 lives. And so that's actually the thing that you are trying not to lose out on. So if you run out of, you could play one round of this and get killed a shitload of times and lose all your lives, or in this case I killed them 3 times and took 3 of their lives. And so then it does this little resort and it sorts everyone out, puts you up against another pair, and off you go. You can pick up lives around that occasionally spawn in the levels, or you can spend currency to buy new lives to try and stay in for longer. So that's one of them in the middle of the map, and I think I make a little dastardly run for it and get it. So in the bottom left I've got 8. Now we have 9 lives for me and my teammate who fucked off after the first game.
Too.
I know.
After the first game left.
Never.
So I ended up playing all of this as me as a solo versus pairs. Came third. yeah, whatever.
Nice, well done.
And yeah, as a mode, I'd say this was cool. It was a kind of like spin on a battle royale knockout. Yeah, knockout's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I thought that was a cool new thing to have, which is, we talked about it a few weeks ago. It's like every game needs more modes in their multiplayer. They don't need it, but that's what they think they need.
So this was the only mode in the alpha, and what did it have? Like, did it have the whole suite of weapons, or did it just have like a few?
I don't know,
like,
Peter.
What were they
twice.
Because 2v2 doesn't feel like a huge technical test, though this does have, like, you know, there's however many people, 16 people in this server getting.
And you can watch from the buyout.
I was wondering what the alpha was. Like, was it just like, hey, people who like COD, just here's a feel?
I think so. I think it was like a promo thing more than anything.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're doing a bigger multiplayer beta coming up. And this, like, because the mode itself is kind of a bit weird. It's just quite small. It feels like it doesn't feel like the kind of thing that I would be returning to a lot. It feels like a demo of a multiplayer thing. I don't know how you felt about it, Gus. Like, I think it works, but it's also just kind of like, it feels like it was at the bottom of the list of ideas that made it into the game. And they were like, we'll put this out.
It's definitely working because everyone's playing it because it's the only thing to play in this alpha. I think if you had the suite of all the other things that COD games come with, this mode will sit at the bottom of it and not get as many people to fill out a match. I like anything that has that requires this amount of teammates, because I play with like 4 to 5 friends who play COD, and occasionally there's only one of them online. Then it can be like, well, we can't play 4-player squads plunder. Let's play some of this. So I like that that's there for that reason. But I agree, Nick. I don't think this is their shining gem in the crown of what new COD's going to be.
It definitely didn't have all the guns. It had like, I think there were 10, 12 guns. You between each round you buy upgrades. So like there was like a bolt action rifle, a sort of like Tommy gun style weapon, a revolver, and a few other things. And then as you go through each round, you can either buy a new weapon or you can start like speccing out the one you've got to a kind of like ridiculous level.
Hold left on the D-pad to spend $500. You do that and it goes, cool, you get a scope. And you don't see what that is. The next time you do that, it's like you got a muzzle, or you got a stock, or you got a foregrip. So it's like, by the end of it, I ended up just going, cool, that's all I'll do, because everyone else was doing that. And you go from a shitty assault rifle or whatever it was to this like specced out explosive rounds kind of gun. But you don't have a lot of time to kind of pick and choose, because you're either in the buy round or
that buy round is super short. Like, I mean, I'm sure that once you play it a ton, then you know what you're going for. But at the beginning, I was like, only because you have to do that thing where you run between these 4 tables to buy things as well. So you physically are moving around the space, and that's just chewing up time between this. In terms of like how it felt, I don't know, Gus, did you? Because I feel like I'm the one person on the planet, besides potentially the developers of Cold War, who prefers the Raven Cold War engine to the like Warzone Modern Warfare COD engine. I feel like every single COD player prefers the engine that Vanguard is being built on. And I like the Cold War one. There's something about it feels lighter and a little quicker and a little just like Modern Warfare, Warzone, and this all feel like quite sluggish and heavy to me. And then when I combine that with the idea that I'm using less precise weapons, older scopes, all the sort of stuff that I've spoken about every time we talk about Vanguard. This didn't do much to alleviate my fears that I'm not going to enjoy the multiplayer on this as much because of the weapons and the way that the game is being built.
I think you're definitely the minority, and I agree with you exactly. Like how that feels. I think it's harder to go from that rate from the Cold War engine back to the Modern Warfare one, the way we're doing now, whereas the other way around I actually think is a lot easier. So to go from Modern Warfare to that faster, and I agree with you, it's totally. A little slicker, a little quicker, it's far more twitchier for your Cold Wars. For what was prior to that, you had Modern Warfare, and before that you would have had Blackout.
Infinite Warfare,
anyway. So I don't think it felt fantastic, but I very quickly got back into the groove of it, and I think there's obviously some muscle memory there from playing a lot of Warzone and a lot of Modern Warfare. So it didn't give me the absolute gripe, but I actually found the issue for me was the scopes and the bullet trajectory and kind of like the recoil. It's probably just not getting used to the weapons yet, and it'll just take a while before I do, but that just felt like the weirdest shock to the system because I'm playing with these older guns that have far less control, and I just think maybe they're not going to get to the point of, military grade weapons that can have a really tight little circle of fire. It's always going to be a bit more unwieldy because you are in this era. So I think that just takes me to getting into it. And then that
combined with the idea that and obviously this is just like this one mode, this one map, whatever, but it was super brown. Everything was brown. Your dress brown.
A lot of people talking in the chat about how brown it is.
It was so brown.
Skirvik says it's like someone pooped on the color palette.
Yeah, and so there was that thing of like when you see
was a brown time.
It was kind of like it was a brown.
It was a brown time.
When you see an enemy, a lot of the time it's like you're kind of just this brown moving shape among these other brown stationary shapes, and I don't want them to be hypercolor, but just this idea of like something that distinguishes you from your environment in a way that feels like it's pleasant to look at as opposed to
it's so hard because I feel like realism is tied to dirt and brown and the reality of what most warfare
and the idea that you're trying to blend in with your environment.
Which is tough. But then at the same time, like it's a video game, like I feel like you can take some creative license here and there just to make it look a bit more interesting.
I'm playing a heap of Battlefield 1 right now.
This is an arena.
Sorry?
Go ahead on that point, guys, because that's so true. Battlefield 1 is set in
the brownest of the wars, I would say.
In deserts and is really vibrant.
And stuff. And it still manages to have a stronger contrast and an interesting look, I think. Than, you're right, this is definitely the brownest of the bunch. But
I'm sure we're going to see, like, beautiful Russian streets and, we're going to, there's going to be that in this, but it's interesting that for an arena
that could be
type. This could be anything. This isn't anywhere. No, it could be anything.
Look how boring.
But they've chosen for it to be
a
just
European town, and we could be in the square, the cobbled square with blue skies and greenery. And it's like maybe there are going to be a few of them, but this is literally called Champions Hill. The guy at the start goes, "Welcome to Champions Hill," and I'm like, "Well, this is clearly it. They're not going to be like there's 6 versions of it. It's like this is our tire dump, pallet storage area, and this is where you do it." I don't know if anyone else can see the flickering on the scope, but that was just something that I'm like, this definitely has to be part of the alpha. Because I don't know what was going on, but it was.
I thought it was cracked glass. Yeah, I thought maybe it was like warped glass, like old glass.
Well, look,
I think it was only when you're moving and it was kind of resolving.
Okay.
Totally. I hope the rest of the game's not as shitty looking.
Muddy.
I'm looking forward to the multiplayer beta. I feel like that'll be the test, and if that's not it, then I'm just like, okay, I'll just
quickly, but
Halo or Destiny.
Speaking of multiplayer, really quickly, I'm off to get my jab tomorrow, and Saturday's going to rain, so I think I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put a big pot of coffee on, and I'm going to play COD, Cold War. I've been playing Destiny. We'll get to that. I'm just going to I'm going to get to the end of the battle pass on Saturday.
So excited.
I'm going to play a whole lot of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I thought you were going to. Speaking of multiplayer, I'm getting vaccinated, so I'm going to be able to go out and play with people.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought you were doing as well. And I was like, wow.
You let down everyone except for me. And I was like, yeah.
I'm going to rest up. I'm going to spend the day from 8 a.m. in the morning, big pot of coffee, and I'm going to get to that 100, finish the battle pass. I haven't done it in a long time. I feel like I owe it to myself.
Good.
You can do that in a day?
I'm up. I'm at level 32 or something now.
Okay, and then you'll get to level 42, and then you'll buy the rest of the tiers.
No, I'm gonna do it. Like all my promises I make on this show.
Good. Okay, Far Cry 6, Cloud Gardens, Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha. Peter Burns.
I wanted to quickly talk about something Gus actually talked about last week, which is Aliens Fireteam Elite, because I've played a little bit of it throughout this week, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. It is. Gus was not wrong about anything, and there are definitely some
I was wrong when I said we should play together.
That's true. You're off playing COD, mate. You're off in your alphas. And we did have a busy week.
You filled your fire team.
I did fill the fire team. and it took a few rounds and playing with people, but the thing that is really attractive about it, I think it does suffer from all the things you said, where sometimes hallways feel a bit samey, particularly that first act in this first campaign that's available. It's very dark, but that feels amazing when you're playing it on harder modes. Blood does hurt you. Friendly fire does hurt you on the harder difficulties as well.
Oh, can I ask? Yeah, because walking through the blood of the enemies in the first, when I did
blood hurts you.
Acid.
Yeah,
they have acid for blood.
The acid blood.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's like the poppers would hurt you, but the regular xenomorphs, when you killed them and they left some green on the floor, when I walked over, I was like, no, nothing happens, but it does in the hard mode.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Yeah. And it scales as well. So the harder the difficulty you're playing on, the more that hurts you, the more friendly fire hurts you.
Or they bleed.
And the thing that makes it really effective is the progression system attached to the different classes. You have 4 classes. There is a 5th class, which I think is only available with like the deluxe edition at the moment, but it's like they all just have it's about working out good combinations of classes to bring into them that work well together. I played a lot of technician, and I kind of just ran that one class to put a bunch of stats into it. And that worked out really well for me because I haven't finished the full campaign yet, but I've played the first 3 acts. There's like the overarching campaign, which does have a reasonably good B story to it. It's hard to take in while you're playing, particularly with friends in a fire team where you're dicking around and having fun. But in the base here, you can talk to all the people who are hanging around the base and get that information again that was kind of delivered to you over radios and stuff in the missions. This is the grid system that is the upgrade system. And so for my technician, on the left is my sentry turret, which I always have. On the right is my basically like electric coils that slow things down. And on the bottom is like a stat boost that the technician gives to people around him. And you plug modifiers into this grid system.
Oh no, it's the Resident Evil
briefcase
bag?
It is, but not in like an inventory way, in an interesting like, oh, well, I've got this 10% stat bonus, but I can either tie it to my, it does extra damage or it cools down 25% faster. I could tie it to my sentry gun, or I could tie it to my charge coils, which slow things down. And so you can actually really like min-max build. And you just get drip-fed stuff heaps. Like it just keeps throwing things at you. Doesn't matter what difficulty you play the mission on. If you finish it, you get given a bunch of credits. You get given a new weapon attachment that again lets you kind of like go down a path of being like, I want to be able to reload really quickly, or I want to be able to have high damage, slow reload kind of thing. So it's like it feels really good that after every mission you do something to yourself. You go back to base and you go, I'm going to change how this feels. I'm going to use this different type of turret and equip this little stat boost to it this time. And
then I want to see how that works in the field. So let's get into another mission kind of thing. I assume it's like which the game needs, considering there's I like the thing I was going to ask. Would
total 12 missions, and I've replayed some already. Absolutely.
Well, I was going to say, like, if I jump in now and say I want to play some with you, is it the kind of game you go, cool, I'm going to bring my guy and all his crazy stuff to the first?
Come check this mission out.
Or are you starting from scratch?
Come check this mission out. It's insane.
Yeah,
you can bring it. You could bring a like. You can play any mission on any difficulty at any time. You have to unlock the hardest ones, but you could jump back to an easy one and you don't get penalized for that. You finish it and you get credits, and you don't get as good at drops for like weapon attachments and stuff. But there's totally value in doing that. And the other thing, which you mentioned last week, was there is a card system. And while it is kind of similar to the one that's in Back 4 Blood, this one is like really about you as a team choosing to play the game in a different way for bonuses. So only one card ever gets played at a time. You can't stack them or anything, but you go, okay, we're going to play this mission on maybe not the hardest difficulty. We'll drop one back, but we'll get 2.5 times experience because we're doing it without a HUD. We don't know how much health we have. We don't know how many bullets we have in our guns.
Yeah, cool.
We did one that was like, once you fire a single bullet out of a gun, you cannot reload it and you cannot swap weapons. So it's like you have to empty the chamber before you can. And like And it's just interesting. It's things that, because it does get really difficult. It gets it gets very chaotic. You'll pick up items along the way.
It's such a weird handicap to put on you in a game like this. These kind of modifiers that like.
But again, it's about the replayability, right?
Yeah, because it's just doing the same
but
mouse.
place unrealistic, restrictions on you as an alien fighter. Like, what is the scenario in which you would not be able to?
Clever solutions for developers when they showed it off and they went, okay, and where's the rest of it? No, this is it. And they're like, well, what if we took a cutaway?
It's not a AAA game, right? Like, I think it's unfair to assume there's going to be Turtle Rock levels of content even in this game. And I can see that I love the base of this. I hope it does well enough that, because it's selling really well. It's not reviewing great, but it's selling really well.
It's one of those games that I feel like it's that split in reviewers and consumers where like reviewers are like, I played this for 15 hours and this is what it's like. And then people who play it are like, is this the kind of thing that like I can hang out with my mates with? And that's such a different thing than like what kind of first impression does this give off, and also
or even trying to like objectively go like, does this work as a game, and maybe as a reviewer, and we've been in that position where I don't really see how this is ineffective for these reasons, but it's like it's things that are easy to look past in a fire team when you're having fun with certain parts of the game.
And I don't think because of really tight gameplay or just chaotic, sometimes a not broken, but semi-crazy game where you're just like, this is crazy regardless. It's just like over the top.
I really love where everything has fallen in terms of how the gunplay feels. I think it's really good. The AI is pretty good, sometimes breaks, but within that you can manipulate it to your advantage in ways that feel fair. Like sometimes it will attack the turret that you put at the back of the base, and that's a really big help to you as a fire team because you're not taking damage. It's just going to blow up one of your items, but that's also costly because you've just wasted an item. But it's not always going to do that. So it's like, it feels like every encounter is different, and every run is slightly different. Aliens spawn in different places in different ways.
Noticeably, like, because they'll say that, and I'm like, but you've played enough to
totally.
Be like, cool.
Yeah, like particularly like in a way that doesn't affect really the full flow of a mission, but in a way that makes it feel like, oh, that bit felt a bit easier, but that probably means the next bit's going to be a bit harder because it's basically paced around where those ammunition crates are put throughout the map to like, and I think it does a really good job of you get less ammo in the harder difficulties as well. So you do kind of end up, when you're playing on the right difficulty for yourself, you do kind of end up getting to that ammo crate just in time every time. So I think there's some really, really good balance in here. And again, I hope it does well enough that they can build a new campaign and do another 12 little missions. And because I love Aliens, there's heaps of problems with all the media that's out in Aliens, but it's just it's a great time. It's cool ideas. It's always the same story. It's always, oh, we've discovered these things, and they get on people's faces. Or it's a little bit in the future, and it's like, oh, we've just accepted that Weyland Yutani is bad, and they do these things, and that's fine, I guess. But I'm having a great time with it.
Yeah, cool.
And have you got back to it?
I will play more.
No, I haven't. I'm keen to though.
Yeah, cool.
I'm keen to in the sense that, and I imagine Pete, you enjoyed playing it. Comms wise, but also control wise with a mouse. Like this, that was my biggest gripe with it. That I was like, I might actually pick it up on PC to play because it really. So I was struggling playing this, and as I struggle with Gears of War on Xbox and with a controller versus a mouse and keyboard, it feels like you're doing better because of that.
Yeah. It definitely feels good with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried with a controller, but I understand the whole snap to the horizon thing being a problem for sure.
As I said last week, just where the enemies are versus a first person shooter when people come through doors. This is just like you need to look in different places. Cool. This looks cool though. I didn't get anywhere near this level of like you're on the big mothership or the
and as you progress
kind of stuff.
Yeah, things actually get more difficult as you progress. Like they actually make the game is scaled to get harder getting towards the end, which is like pretty standard mission design. But it's also interesting in that the style of gameplay changes. Like there's, I just killed Andy. There's you saw the crouch mechanic. You made a comment about it last week about how it's redundant, and it totally is in that whole first act. It's like, why is this here? And then suddenly it becomes a cover shooter in Act 2 when you come up against
synthetics. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, right, okay. Now I see why this is part of it. And then, you know, further in, it's like, oh, I'm fighting multiple different types of enemies at the same time. And the gameplay kind of like, you have to react to that. Everything is on the board for you to do that.
Is the friendly fire like the same amount of damage you would do to your friends as you were if you were firing at an enemy, or do they make it a little bit more forgiving?
Difficulty scale. So on the hardest one available at the start, I think it's like you do 5 or 10% of the damage, but the hardest difficulty is 100% damage and huge alien bleed damage and like
crazy.
I don't think I'll ever be able to.
We're having. It's like,
oh my gosh,
I don't think I'd ever be able to accomplish that. Yeah, totally. Like, yeah. And like Andy was running around with a flamethrower for half of it. So it's like you just get burned.
Yeah.
You're going to get burned.
Play with fire,
and then you didn't, obviously, didn't finish the campaign. So we yet to see the wave mode that I'm dying to play.
I still haven't unlocked the wave mode. But I can't say I can't say having played the game, I need it because every mission is a wave mode.
I need it, Peter. I don't care about you.
It's still so confusing as to why this wave mode is. Why
like
it's so
endless
different.
wave modes. It's fun.
That's the game.
That is the game. That is the game.
Yeah, cool. Good. Well, I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of legs. And hopefully we'll be supported for a few years. And the other thing I played was The Big Con, which is another gory, violent, just brutal game about a 90s kid trying to make some money to save the family business. So this game came out this week. It is has beautiful art, is presented really well. Is a little bit like rough around the edges in different places, but I really like what I've set out to do so far. I've kind of played the first hour of the game, which sets up the story. You're this kid in a small town. Mum owns the video shop, which is a perfect 90s setting that there's like VHS tapes everywhere and just like there's all like references to the real 90s world, but there's no like reality. And you find not Back to the Future, it's like Far from the Present or something, but it's like it's obviously Marty McFly and the DeLorean on the cover of the thing. And it's like there's just some really, really nice art that they put into this. The core of the game is that you set out to con people. You're going to steal all the money that you require to save your family's business. Your mum took money from loan sharks. She owes them like $100,000.
Oh, Mum.
And which is a lot of money. And you right at the start here, you kind of learn the basic mechanics of the game, which are kind of eavesdropping, like reconnaissance, and then kind of the next step is acquiring the like right items to achieve the con, and then the last phase is like enacting the con, which is like to actually get money out of people.
So we're talking, is this extortion, blackmail? Are we doing a little grifting on the side?
There's a lot of grifting and a lot of pickpocketing.
I was gonna, okay.
Basically, you start
basic theft.
It's like
victimless crime.
I didn't really know that that's what I was going to be playing. So I was like, it's dressed in a way where you feel like you're going to be this heroine, and you are like very quickly become
heroin.
A thief.
Dumpster diving.
Really is like, and there's dialogue trees and you get to choose some options and stuff like that. But
an inefficient run.
The character is like just totally selfish and out to serve their own purpose. And it's for the family, but it's also just like, this is the pickpocket mechanic. So basically you can pickpocket anyone if you time a little slider properly. And it's pretty easy to do. if someone's got
the
more
90s
cash, it's
were
harder.
easier, weren't they?
They were easier. Everyone had big, loose, baggy pants
I
and
was going to
pockets.
say, yeah.
Whoa, was that transition an S?
The S transition.
Whoa!
Which I knew you'd love, Gus.
How did they draw it?
So basically, you go around to all the little areas that you end up in, and you steal from pockets. And that's kind of how you start ending up with items. And you might end up with, like, I needed a baseball card to get past one of the guards because I knew he was a collector because I'd listened to him. And then deeper into this train, I found someone who was trying to play the stock market, and I'd listened to a conversation in another part of the carriage that I was able to convince this other guy that I knew what I was talking about enough for him to be like, hey, that's a great tip. Here's like $1,500. So it's like, it's all those little interactions that you have. In the 90s, $1,500 was like
$3,000.
4 million, give or take. So there's some fun little ideas in here. And yeah, you interact with quirky characters along the way. And
do you feel like it's leading to you getting your comeuppance? And like, does it feel like there's a larger, okay, right, yeah. Like,
I don't know. I feel like in my head, I'm still going to save the day, and it was just through nefarious means, and who cares, because there were 2D drawings that got harmed along the way.
I wonder if there's like,
the tone of it is weird.
Yeah. Is there a moment where you're going to have like an inner monologue that starts questioning, is this the right thing to do?
I
or
don't
your
see
mum
that
finds
coming.
out? No, neither. So
What's the 1 and 2 appearing in dialogue?
You don't use the mouse at all.
Okay. You have to go through everything with your. That's true of a lot of indie games like that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Before I was going like, this is a game that could never be set today because no one carries this amount of cash except for Pete. That like you could not walk around pulling $80 out of it. I don't remember the last time I had $80 in a wallet. Yeah, cool.
Groovy.
So yeah, not much more to say about it at this point. Though I will mention that guy with the bar cart. In order to eavesdrop on people, you need to hide behind the bar cart, and it keeps moving, and it takes like 4 minutes to move up and down the carriage. So it's like, if I just need to stand here for 4 minutes for him to come back so I can hide again and get the piece of information that I need to have this interaction, this
I guess
con.
any problem you have with this game, like with the mechanics, can be blamed on 90s game development and be like, that's what you had to do back then. Like, games had that awkward time loop that you'd be like, oh, well, that's the kind of game it is, but...
and the other thing that I find a bit odd, and it's not bad really, is that when you jump into conversations, it's not voiced, but the voice actors have been asked to make kind of like a groan to resemble how they're feeling as this line is delivered. So you go like, let's see if we can hear some here.
Right, yeah, just a little noise.
So it's just like a bunch of like,
Oh, that's funny.
it's like
active listening. That's
It's like it's the equivalent of a JRPG where it's like,
yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. I've found.
I've also just realized
it's not really in the way.
I've also just realized what this art style is. Like, yes, it's 90s-esque. It's pamphlet for kids about drugs being bad. That's what this art style is. That's all these kids like. I feel like this is pamphlet from like a rec center of like, hey kids, these are the characters, and then one of them takes a drug and they all go, oh no, it's terrible. But it's like, we'll do it in a bright, colorful style with these kids, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drugs would really help this game.
That's a big one. I think it's quite cool. It feels like it's going to move through pretty quickly. Like, I feel like I've progressed quite a bit. I think I'm up to like $4,000 or something of the 94 that I need. In that first hour, and it's escalating like mad. So I feel like it's going to be quite a short game, which I think is good. I don't think it'll outstay its welcome.
You buy some fucking Apple stock with that. Buy some Amazon shares. You get that $100,000.
That's not my robot says, I'm expecting some more moral choices to come up because I've seen a couple of people who are clearly okay to steal from because they're mean versus people that I have been made to feel guilty after stealing from.
Yeah, right. Maybe I just don't feel any guilt, so that's how I'm moving through.
You're playing the game differently.
Yeah.
So that is Aliens Fireteam Elite and the Big Con. Stephanie, keep the train going.
Yeah, so I have been dipping back into Phasmophobia. You'll remember Phasmophobia is a ghost hunting game that came out in September last year. It was one of my big COVID hit games of the year. It's a game where you could team up with 3 other friends and visit various houses with ghost hunting equipment in an attempt to determine what type of ghost it is and complete a certain number of side challenges as well without the ghost hunting and killing you. It's a bit like Amnesia in that there's a sanity mechanic, and when you're in the dark or when you're in certain situations, your sanity will drop and then you're more vulnerable to ghost attacks. And I was really enjoying it. We played it a bunch with different groups of friends and stuff like that. It's like legitimately scary when the ghost is hunting you and the ghost events happen, no matter how many times you get used to it. But I think we kind of hit a wall with it in that we'd played through, there was only so many maps and we started to get kind of used to the ghost's patterns of behavior and it started to kind of, wear a bit thin after a while. So
you can only sing Backstreet Boys in an abandoned school so many times before. Was it Backstreet Boys?
No, it was Rob Thomas.
Oh, it was.
I can't remember what I was saying.
That's
what's
right.
funny. Because it was like, oh no,
Yeah.
because there was like a ghost called Rob Thomas or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like the ocean.
Robert Thomas or something. Yeah. So that was how we were keeping our sanity high.
Forget about it. He didn't like that. He killed us.
He killed us.
But they've made a few changes to the game. A lot of like small tweaks that make a big difference, and then like kind of a few big changes. They've added a couple of extra ghosts. I think the Goryo and the Hantu, I think, are the new ones. I can't quite remember.
Those are new ghosts.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought the thing that add is the ability to move house and just be like, nope, we're leaving.
They have added some new maps. They've added some new houses,
Cool.
and they've added some new ghost hunting equipment as well. And they've changed the way some of the ghosts behave. They're a lot more aggressive now. Overall, I would say it's like I went in there with my level 19 bravado and died in my first run. It was like it was really scary. The sound design in this game has always been really good, but it is somehow better and scarier now. That kind of like whooshing sound that is kind of always present, and the sounds of creaking and walking upstairs, and the ambient sounds of other people moving through the house in other rooms and stuff. It all feels really good. It's one of those games where you use proximity chat or a walkie-talkie so that you're able to rely on whether you kind of hear someone in the next room and stuff like that. So they've changed things that, like, for example, there's a fuse box in the garage of the house, and if you turn on too many lights in the house, then the fuse box will shut down. Which is a prime hunting time for certain ghosts.
And also very realistic. So that works in its favor as well.
Totally. So there's certain ghosts that have powers that can be affected by whether or not the fuse box is on, and will have like magical abilities that they can cast, which means that they can automatically lower your sanity to 25% when they're near you. They can move incredibly fast, things like that. It just there's small changes that have just made the whole thing just feel much scarier, and it feels like I feel that same sense of terror that I had the first time that I was playing it. So they've they've clawed a little bit of that magic back. They've added some new equipment like this dot
matrix
thing. Yeah, it's a dots projector, and it
ghosts hate dots.
It kind of creates a light field that apparently catches, movement. And I thought it would be really obvious, but a bit like ghost orbs, it's very subtle. But you see movement pass through it really, really quickly. And it's just super terrifying. And there's also, they've added candles to the game as well, so that you can light candles to create a small amount of ambient light to help stay the dropping of your sanity. So because if you have the lights on and stuff, obviously you're going to your sanity isn't going to drop as quickly, but then often it's more difficult to communicate with the ghost, and obviously you've got to worry about the fuse box as well. So being able to light candles and put them around just gives you a little bit of extra security when you're trying to kind of get things done and put your equipment down places before the ghost comes. But some ghosts can blow the candles out as well, which is absolutely terrifying.
Well, it's like run from your face. That's awesome.
How does that work? The ghosts don't breathe.
That's the bit in the trailer where they light the candle, then the little face comes out of the darkness. And then it goes
if they can murder you, Nick, they can blow a candle out.
I guess that's true. If they can pick something up, they can create wind.
Yeah.
You keep saying, and I mean this politely, you keep saying obviously this does that. One of the things I remember playing this with you guys was that you played enough of it to know like what certain things do. Having new items and new things being put into the game, is there a way that it tells you how these items work, or were you doing a bit of trial and error to work out? Because I know that is also part of it. Even with what you did know when we played it, we were like, I think this does this here. Were all these items, did they come with a bit of an update notes or something you
no, not that I kind of found. I just kind of used to play with stuff like the salt, and for example, you see the footprints in the salt when you put that down, so that's really cool.
That was yours. You walked backwards over it.
I don't like it.
No. But also,
in this game, the humans are the ghosts. They can't actually kick salt.
Yeah, there's just, you sort of just trial and error and stuff. Okay. But then also, there is a really extensive wiki for this game. Like people really, really love this game and have gone to great effort to create really detailed information about how all the ghosts interact and their sort of weaknesses and strengths. The sort of each ghost, it's funny because there's so many different ghosts in the game and they all have really specific characteristics. Like the Jinn, for example, will more frequently interact with electronics like telephones and lights and stuff. There are other ghosts that will always put dirty water in the sink and stuff like that. So when you see that, you can gather that as evidence. And there's some ghosts that will only talk to you if you're by yourself, whereas other ghosts will talk to you like regardless of where you are, and be really chatty right from the start. There are some ghosts that only like to. Oh, there's the Ouija board as well, which is something that I really love and that works really well. Now you can ask more questions of the ghosts. You can ask the ghost what their favorite room is, and the Ouija board starts spelling out the word toilet. And I was like, oh,
same.
Died having a diarrhea episode, I guess. I was like, and that's where they're stuck now.
Don't light a candle in there.
Ultimately, same game, but like it looks like even that video camera and stuff is like it's more user friendly because it was. Gus is right. It was pretty clunky to play. It was obtuse how there's a tutorial, but it was just okay, and like this is how things work. Because
it was early access, wasn't it? From memory,
it was early access, yeah. But I think also it's just like there's been consistent updates to the game since it launched that have just made tiny little things better. So it just looks a bit better. Yeah. It feels a bit better to play. It's not as
janky.
Need
much work.
Yeah.
Well, the
placing of cameras and tripods and stuff was always a bit fiddly, and I feel like that's a bit easier now to navigate.
With when something's like it was and then it blows up because it sold really well. I like that they go back and go, okay, here's all the stuff we wanted to do, but we didn't have enough time or money or whatever, as opposed to just focusing on releasing new content. Like even, like you said, things like the camera and that sort of thing, where you just go, yeah, we just wanted to polish all this stuff up and sort of finish the game. And
instead of now it's a battle royale and you're like, okay, well, that's gone now.
The other thing too is that the ghosts will, if when you hide in the closet, they will open the door and try and come and find you if you're trying to hide in a closet. That's really terrifying. They're smarter. They're learning.
Are you playing this with anyone else? This footage?
This footage is solo.
Oh,
yeah, no.
This isn't my footage. No.
Sure, but someone is playing this game.
You can
solo.
You can play it solo. You can play it with up to 4 people, but you can totally play it by yourself.
I'd pass.
Yeah, cool.
On the solo thing.
But do you think because I guess I never found it that it was too easy. It was just sometimes you weren't sure if it was broken. It's like did the ghost bug out or something? Does that feel like it's been tidied up and maybe the difficulty balance is spot on now? Or?
We still had, I think we had one instance where we couldn't figure out what kind of ghost it was. But it's really because you really need all of the equipment at your disposal to be able to figure out what type of ghost it is. Sometimes you get lucky with a process of elimination, but there are some ghosts that, will only do a certain thing in a certain way. And if you don't, if you miss a step or you haven't checked a room for fingerprints or you haven't, or a ghost will only start talking, when it gets down to a certain temperature or something like that. So you need to kind of, there needs to be a sequence of events that happen for some ghosts to be able to do their thing in order for you to identify them. But also it's just harder now because they're so much more aggressive. Like they kill you really quickly. And then the other person just wants to GTFO because they're next, right?
Cool. Good. Yeah.
And the other thing that they've also just made the proximity chat better. You can adjust volume and things like that, and the party system, like all of that just feels smoother and better. So
cool.
I'm just looking forward to getting back into it.
Nice.
I do love that there's still the while there's new maps, sometimes just a modern house with the lights off is fucking scary. Like it doesn't have to be a haunted school or an old
this stock Unreal asset.
It's like just looking through a video camera at it at night. Oh, that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
No.
looking through the video camera just makes everything more scary.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I've been playing, I have to say is a little bit odd, but lovely Rhys recommended it to me today. Thank you, Rhys. I was talking on stream the other day that I would love to find more like chill lo-fi games to play so that I could actually talk to people, because I get very distracted or involved
stream,
in what
you
I'm
mean?
doing on stream. Yeah. And involved in what I'm doing. And it's difficult for me to kind of keep up with chat. And I would just like to kind of hang and have conversations with them. And Rhys suggested this, jigsawpuzzles.io, which is literally just jigsaw puzzle potentially. But it's amazing because you can you can choose from like a variety of different images, and you can choose how many pieces you want the puzzle to be. But it's multiplayer as well, so you can do the puzzle with your friends.
That's a MOBO.
You can also do like this is like a big motherboard, but also on the front page are a bunch of games that people have made public, and you can join any one of them. And so it'll show you the percentage of how much of the puzzle has been completed, and you can just kind of jump in there and start helping out someone else. And it's cool to be able to, because I usually do a jigsaw puzzle every year or every other year if I can, because I just love doing them. So it's a really wonderful cathartic thing, but everyone has their own system of doing stuff. Like obviously you do all the corners and the edges first, but then like how you organize the other pieces and stuff, you can see people getting frustrated as like somebody else is messing with their pile of pieces and stuff like that.
That's good.
And the only thing, and there is a chat window, but most people just use their little mouse cursor to communicate. If you go through it, you can see there's one that's like a beach, I think, a beach scene. This one was really hard. This one. Can you go to the beginning? Can you go to the beginning?
What?
I can scrub back and tell.
That footage.
It's just because, an IO game is like, there's Agar IO, and anything with .io is like just a...
So this person here is like,
browser.
it's there, put it there. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. And then, and then I became really involved in this one, and I finished the puzzle with this person. But because I joined kind of like relatively towards the end, I didn't want to be like the person to put the last piece in.
That's so sweet.
So we put all the pieces in, and then when it came to the last one, I didn't do anything, and then they weren't doing anything because they were wanting me to put the last piece in, and I was like, that was so sweet. And I was moving my mouse going, no, you do it. And they were like moving their mouse away, and I was like, no, you put it in, you do the last one. And then finally they put it in, and I was like, yay. And they were like, GG.
GG.
And there's no button to flip the table or just go and just mess the puzzle up again at the end.
This is you.
Yeah.
In the second last piece. And there's the other cursor.
Yeah.
You. No, you. No, come on. How'd you do it? You, dude. Take it.
Oh, they did it.
Hey.
Oh, monster.
Yeah. I don't know. I just found it really, it's one of those, every now and again you come across a simple thing that you can share on the internet with a stranger that you find really wholesome and wonderful. And this was that, it's just like there are other people.
But I was about to say, but it feels like this is what should have come before Journey, and Journey was the culmination of this, but this has come like 6 years after Journey.
And you can also, you can matchmake and play it with people you just give them like a link to it or whatever and create a private puzzle lobby. But I like the idea of all these strangers on the internet just contributing towards this little thing that is of no consequence really, but is very kind of meditative and lovely. And I think they're trialing an option where you can upload a photo and make a puzzle. I was going to ask, and I'm
like, the second I asked that, I'm like, that feels more problematic.
Yeah, but it'd be tricky. It'd be tricky because you need to vet the photos, obviously, that get uploaded. But
well, only if you were going to share them, right? Like, there is a world where you could just upload a picture and it just scatters it into pieces for you to put back together.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's what are you uploading to these people's servers.
Yeah.
You know
The
what I'm
internet
putting
is
on
an
these
awful
people's
place.
servers. Yeah.
Hard to defend that you didn't know what that picture was until 2 hours into it when you go, oh God, no.
Yeah, but it's just such a nice thing to have open on your second monitor when you're doing stuff, or if you're on calls or whatever. Just have your little jigsaw puzzle going because it doesn't require a lot of brain power. But
Question.
Yes.
Could you have it open on another browser with other people playing it and you just do work and a puzzle is being assembled next to you by people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that is my ideal puzzle.
That's the best way to solve a puzzle.
That is like, it's being done
And then
to the
you
side.
and then you swoop in and you put the last piece in at the end.
Yes. This dormant cursor that they're like, why hasn't this guy done anything? And then at the end you're like, bam!
I have to say that there's no sound in that footage except for a few times when I'm laughing because I'm realizing that the other person is trying to communicate to me with their mouse cursor. But I didn't have my microphone connected, so I thought, I must have had mic input coming from maybe my headset or something
Into the
else.
game?
Well,
Or
into
in your
my
recording?
into my capture, yeah. So when I went back and listened to it, there's like me singing the Backstreet Boys all the way through it because I thought I wasn't recording. It's very embarrassing. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. It's
I don't
puzzles.
think we heard any of it there.
Puzzles. Jigsawpuzzles.io. And that's
Very
me.
cool.
Stuff. William Yates, come back.
There he is.
Hello. I've been playing two things, two current things, and two things that aren't related to Marvel. And I guess the first one, one of the characters could have been around. It's a demo from a game that was teased during Gamescom. It's called Squadron 51, and it's kind of like a 1950s B movie side-scrolling shooter. First, though, you'll see that there's a lot of FMV in the game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so it's kind of
like
bookended.
but proper stop motion as well.
Totally, and
That's not full motion video.
No.
it's
that
some
is.
motion. But it's pretty cool. I think it's a Brazilian dev, so I think here it's English, but in game there's lots of voiceover that's in Portuguese. I think I've looked into it's a Portuguesian. I'm not going to try and speak. But basically there's some FMV that bookends. There's 11 chapters when the game comes out. In this, there were 3 levels to go through. I mean, just absorb these mustaches
Amazing.
for a moment.
I mean,
That's
yeah, he's
excellent.
definitely Portuguese.
Absolutely. Look at this.
I'm entranced.
It's really cool. Like, this is really good. I'm glad that there's moments where you can enjoy the FMV movies, because once you're in game, they're constantly talking, and the story's lost on me. There's like constant banter. But this is the game. They've kind of tried to emanate the little stop motion models as a style, which is super cool. It's tight. It's definitely got that the Cuphead vibe of just like almost a bullet hell as well at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and these first few levels, I don't know, it sets a tone really well. I mean, it's so cool. It's so sick. There's a certain film grain element to it all as well.
It's interesting that there's the comparison to Cuphead in the bullet hell, but also in, hey, here's a look that no other game has tried that is so easy to capture. Easy is not the right word.
The music
but you know
is
what I mean?
great too. I can't hear it super loud, but
Music's great as well. Yeah,
it's perfect.
Serpent77 says it looks very Ed Wood. And that's
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. The one element which is it's very hard to do because it's like the voices are a little bit distracting because they're not so much in this first level, but later on there's a constant chatter because the plot is aliens, War of the Worlds kind of style. There's 4 pilots trying to save the universe, so they're all constantly talking to each other. I find the black and white is difficult because it's sometimes you get lost a little because there's only really 2 colors, 2 tones going on. I don't know how you would really go about distinguishing without putting a color in there. And
In a grayscale, yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe it's part of the difficulty is trying to see where you're firing from. But it's super fun, and yeah, it's a free demo at the moment.
I love the stock explosions in there too, going off, like the kind of like semi-matted cut explosions with a bit of fire that just dissolves away and stuff. Like, yeah, great art style that I've not seen even attempted in a video game before. Oh, that's great. The level finish with the credits.
Yes.
I mean, there's little details
Awesome
as
detail.
well, like you shoot into the ground and there's little dust puffs as the bullets are hitting there. Just little things that you wouldn't expect. This level was really sick because as it kind of turned around, I realized what we were rotating. I wasn't sure what the point was. There's this little device at the back there. So it's kind of like, and you've got 2 special moves that charge up as you go. And so halfway through I went, oh my god, I'm coming back. I can shoot it. And just realized what the point of the level was.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, it's got a great that kind of
Fantastic look.
2.5D look.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, so it's,
Nice.
you can check that. It's on
At the
Steam.
end of each
right
level,
now.
it tells you, now go to the lobby and buy some salt.
Milk
corns
duds
and milk duds.
So milk duds and salted corns.
Yeah.
And heroin for what ails you.
Yeah.
The other one is there's no heroin in this next game.
Great.
It's a slight
Yet.
surprise, I would say. Well, that's the thing. It's Lake, which
What's in those
popped up
boxes?
in the game plan this week. And I know the kind of premise is this is Meredith Weiss. It's all set in the 1980s because, of course, it is because it's a game.
Oh my god, that
Came out
font.
this week.
Game.
But the kind of premise is she's going back to her hometown. Her father, who's like the mailman of the town, she's taking over his job for 2 weeks. I assume legalities are a lot more flippant during the 80s. Like it's
Right.
crazy. It's like she's never done
Anyone
this
can
before.
be a male person.
Yeah. This is kind of the intro story beats, and the whole game definitely gives the Telltale vibe. Very early Telltale games to the animation.
okay.
And the dialogue's great. Like it's well written, good voice acting. There, as far as I can tell, because it was the question on the backup, it is exactly what it is. There isn't a twist coming on. It's
The
totally
town
just,
isn't, actually having some weird
No.
Twin Peaks vibes or anything. It's just like,
It's
Just has a shortage of mail delivery drivers.
Yeah, there's only her. There's one guy that stays in the mail room and never leaves, and I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Why don't you do it?" It's all about her relationships with these people, and it's clever because obviously she's been away for, I think they say 22 years, and so she's come back, and there's all that lovely small town vibe of I remember when you were a kid, or I remember playing in the park with you, and it's kind of resolving a lot of relationships and seeing if you can jump back onto that relationship so far on.
Yeah, cool.
And it's in the Telltale aspect, it's kind of what I've always wanted from a Telltale game, which is like a big world where you can just interact with different stories at your own leisure and kind of come back to them whenever you want. It's totally that, which is really cool. And from what I can see, there's obviously there's dialogue options, but it's not a branching narrative. It's just more, do you want to avoid this person? You can, if you want. If you just want to beeline all these other people, just keep saying no.
What's
Yeah,
the
cool.
overall tone of the game?
I think Peyton nailed it. Oh
It's
my
a
god,
it's a
it's a
Hallmark.
Hallmark movie.
Yes,
Yes.
Really?
100%. There's no.
The tone
yeah.
is you're sick and you're staying home from school today.
Yep.
and this is the
What's
only
on?
game you're allowed to play.
What's on Prime?
This is that awesome actress from JAG's retirement plan.
But is it Hallmark
To be in
as in
all
it
the
like
Hallmark
it's
movies.
very, very sweet, or is there like a little bit of something sinister going on, or does that just not factor into it
I
at
think
all?
it's just Hallmark in the sense that it's like,
in-
what's the point of this?
Yeah.
It's just like it's super earnest. There's no real tension.
Okay.
It's like everyone's nice to each other. If there is
Because-
drama in town, it's because who's going to win the cookie bake-off?
Because this could be one of those games that sets itself up that way, and then all of a sudden just takes a really dark turn.
Yeah,
I
like
love
what's
it
wrong
when
with
that
Tanya?
happens.
Like she just
What's wrong with Tanya?
What's wrong with Tanya?
just delivers heads. That's the
Darkest-
only package she delivers is heads.
Can you cut the mail open?
No, yeah,
Oh,
imagine.
yes.
Yes.
That's what I do every
That's
time.
it. Look
God
in the
damn it.
mail.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole game, by day she's out delivering mail, and by night she's in the bathroom steaming the envelopes open so that she can like reseal them afterwards. She's just going through everyone's secrets. That's a
That-
fucking game.
that
I
or
would
she
play
gets-
that game of like finding out what everyone is saying to each other in like the 60s.
Or she gets put in a moral situation where she can potentially help someone if she opens their mail, but she has to break
tell
the
them
one
about the
code
affair or
that she
not.
promised she would never break as a mail person.
And who's going to believe you?
Who's going to believe you?
Ooh.
So there's
Will?
none of there's
So,
none
any of
there's
that?
none of that.
Sorry about that.
It's as simple as it can be. Deliver mail. But it's lovely, and from what I can tell, it's going to be pretty short. So it's entirely wholesome. there's no actual back to the truck. You open the truck, it's a grey box, and then there's boxes. It's definitely rough around the edges, but thankfully the dialogue and the stories seem like they'll pull you through.
Also, that hang on, that doesn't the back of the truck doesn't slide. It is a texture that they've stretched.
It might be one of those like what's the
No,
like
it's not like.
No, because they don't slide into each other. They just squash for sure.
It just was a flat texture that goes.
You can't run over people.
The most excitement that you'll get in this game is just going to the other side of the road. But
We're in Australia.
say that, which I did have a moment when cars came the other way. I was like, "What's happening?" But
What could be wrapped in this?
yeah,
It's Tanya.
It's Tanya.
Nothing bad will ever happen to us.
this is the crazy cat lady house.
Well, I think it's really nice that this is exactly what we thought it was going to be, and just sweet.
Do you remember in Steven Soderbergh's Traffic?
Oh god.
The heroine was being made into dolls, so that could be a heroine.
That could
it was
be a
heroine.
heroine.
I know. I can't. I think I would spend the whole game just waiting for something to turn, and I feel like I'd be disappointed when I got to the end of it, knowing that would never happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
And
it is
Catherine Zeta-Jones didn't snort it because she was pregnant. Anyway,
It's
Not that
just
there
like-
isn't a place for lovely games like this. I just feel like I don't know that I would be into the pleasantness
Steph,
of
you
it.
did a puzzle. You did a video game puzzle.
that's true. You did a puzzle.
You could take it. You should take like great screenshots in Lake and then
about to say,
upload them to Jigsaw.io
Yes,
and do
split
them.
them up.
Yes. Yes.
Now that's
And
This
the
lady's
people
supposed to make a
and the
great
people are trapped inside the puzzle and because of a curse, a sinister curse has trapped them inside the puzzle. And then when I put the puzzle back together, then
Steph's
they all come
pouring
back
salt
to
over it all.
okay,
life.
we're done here.
No,
So there's
it's
none
just
of
a
that.
picture.
Is it dark
It's just a
matrix?
picture of an old lady. Yeah, it's just a texture being slowly stretched and retracted.
Lake.
Okay, good.
Lake.
That's Lake. Squadron 51 demo and Lake. Thank you,
Very
Will.
cute.
And of course, the number one thing we took away from that, everyone should go watch the Tanya
Traffic.
as an sketch.
Yeah, right.
And everyone should watch Traffic. Does Traffic hold up? Probably not. Remember when
Probably
Steven Soderbergh decided that every character deserved their own color grade? And it was just that era of like, Catherine Zeta-Jones is going to be orange and Topher Grace is going to be blue.
That's how you can tell the different storylines. Visual.
That's called writing, Gus. That's
Not when you meet the telly.
all
What are
right.
you playing, Nick?
to round out the games that we've been playing this week. I did drop into Destiny and won't speak too much about it, other than the fact that I had an utterly delightful time doing the Prophecy Dungeon with Stephanie Bendixson and Avexia Bendixson, and it
We have
We're
was
to
married
assume.
now.
it was a total joy. Well, no, from
No,
what I can
he's
tell,
our kid.
you have truly adopted him as a child.
Yeah. He's our
there's-
kid.
You are doing the child thing of like, here's all the movies that I love that you need to watch. Here is it's very sweet, and I think it
We've
totally
put together a
holds up.
college fund for him.
Yeah, I support it, but Avexia, you like, there's going to be some documents that you need to sign to unemancipate yourself from these people.
What's wrong with Avexia?
What's wrong with Avexia? Who's going to believe you, Avexia?
Who's gonna believe you?
But that was great fun, and I'm really looking forward to doing more. Avexia contacted me and was like, let's organize a raid. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that was great.
I'm
And
about
Steph,
halfway through the
thank you
Beyond
very
Light
much. It was
expansion.
so much fun. We're talking about me, Gus. We're talking about me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
do
ready.
tell
I'm
me.
ready to join.
Yeah, no, there's.
Are
I'm
you
sorry,
though,
there's
or are you
there's
just saying
Gardner in
that
Destiny.
while people are watching, and then when
There's
I invite
no
you to a
Gardner.
game, you leave
True.
right after we do a fun conga dance in the snow?
That was a weird conga dance. It was just two people. That's not a conga dance. That's
That's the whole game.
That's the whole game.
Anyone can conga.
Anyone can.
Conga. So that was very fun. But so two things I want to talk about. Number one, a game called No More Heroes 3. Now, I have never played any of the No More Heroes games, and I feel like they could have been my kind of thing. But I'm playing this on the Switch, and I am kind of I'm in what am I trying to say? I'm in art design whiplash at the very least. But I think I love this at the moment. I hear after a couple of hours, I was listening to a review where they said that like after 3 hours when the game opens up, it kind of feels as though they ran out of budget and they just stopped making the game interesting. But the first couple of hours are apparently great. I'm about an hour in. I wish I could tell you the general backstory to this. I don't know anything about the series other than your name is Travis Touchdown, but this game starts with another game, which is what you're watching right now, and he seems to be playing a video game called Deathman, and he's talking about how he loved this video game Deathman. And then Pete, if you skip forward like 1 minute, you make friends. You're suddenly in an anime. And this kid has made friends with, I think it's called
Furby.
With this Furby sort of, it's very much an ET allegory. And the Furby keeps going, Damon, I love you, and talks about how in 20 years' time, like this has been a 3-minute video that I watched. And it's kind of sweet, like all the wholesome, you get some sort of mind meld connection thing. Anyway, Fu here says, in 20 years I'm going to return, and he's just like your little best, sweetest little friend. Pete, can you skip forward 1 minute? So this is Fu now, and Fu broke 10 people out of prison or killed their worlds. That's Fu. He's turned into a total douchebag prince. That's you, going like, you came back in 20 years and he wants to destroy Earth.
Oh, God. What is that?
That's like a octopus thing. But look what the octopus thing is about to do.
Obviously.
To your city.
What the fuck?
This, and then like look at what it does to this.
To this?
And then and so this is now we're about 12 minutes into this game now, and it's very much like at this point art installation.
Very confused.
Then it is like a video game. So that all happens, and then you cut to this, and this is Travis Touchdown's apartment. And he wakes up. Pete, could you skip forward 1 minute? And he goes outside, and he's got 2 friends with him. This is the tutorial graphics. And then this lady pops up and starts telling you about how this is a video game, and you're going to keep learning about all the different ways to play this video game. There's 2 characters. There's 2 women that are friends with him. One is like a Harley Quinn style character who just wants to beat the, like, quote, fucking shit out of everyone with a baseball bat. And the other one is sort of like the lady who's hunting you in Deathloop, who seems to be all about strategy. Pete, could you skip forward like another couple of minutes? So then you end up on a spaceship, and this is Fu's spaceship. The combat is okay. It's very much sort of like button mashy kind of
Have you charged up
hack
your
and
sword?
slash style things, but you need to charge up your sword. So this person has not charged up his sword, got to run away. And the problem with the sword charging mechanic is that you need to hold R1 or RL, whatever it's called on the Switch, and then jiggle the right thumbstick up and down to charge your sword. So if you don't hold the button before you start jiggling, the camera starts jiggling instead, which is very confusing. The game has thrown at me at this point, honestly, about 10 different fight mechanics that I can use. And this is all before I got into the 4th fight that I had. Pete, can we skip forward 1 more minute? I'm buying sushi now, and I can either eat in, which gives me a buff.
photos of food.
They're photos of food. So the sushi guy is a skull. The sushi guy got sucked up by the spaceship, and he's inside the spaceship. And he's like, I used to sell sushi in like Los Angeles or whatever, but then I got sucked up by a spaceship, so now I sell sushi here.
Right.
If you skip forward 1 more minute, maybe 1 more minute, because this is just teaching you another fight mechanic.
You haven't jerked off your sword yet. That's how that's what you do to charge it
yeah.
up. He does this shake weight animation.
True.
There you go.
Then this guy is the first sort of like superhero that you need to beat, whose planet got killed by Fu, and you're like, let's take revenge on him, and he's like, nah, I just want to kill you instead. And then you have a like kind of interesting boss battle with some interesting mechanics here. The only thing that we've skipped here, and it doesn't matter, is that you save by going to the toilet, and when you save, he keeps poking his head out of the toilet and being like, make sure you go to the toilet before you have a big boss fight, because you'll empty yourself, but also save the game, and then slams the door shut. Yeah. So that's No More Heroes 3, the first hour. And
Is this the first Suda 51 game you've played?
No. So I knew what I was in for. I've just never played this series, and I totally am just like, I think that the thing is that when I was playing this, it was like I had to put it down after an hour because I was just like, I've seen too many things. There are too many
Seen too
things,
much.
yeah, that have happened. But I just really appreciate in other, like in the same way in other Suda games, I just really appreciate the fact that like there's just no there's a cohesion, but it's just like things don't need to connect in this way. And it is like, yeah, why do all games have to have the same art style? Why can't, like, as in like, why do they have to have a consistent art style? Why can't games have 4 art styles and do 5 different kinds of things? So I have really, really been enjoying this first hour. I'll probably play it until it falls off and goes into this sort of open world thing where they were like, we stopped coming up with interesting stuff now, and now it's just sort of like running around doing the fighting. But I've really enjoyed the first hour, and I think it's pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Good effort.
So that
Nice.
is No More Heroes 3. And then the last thing which I'll mention. So I was going to talk about Psychonauts 2 because I picked it up again last night. And I've just hit the point where I'm like truly falling in love with this game in a really deep way. And I'm really, really loving it. I'm just like, I just think it's so great. But I'll probably talk about it next week when I've actually played a decent amount. But what it's made me do is I went, God, I love Double Fine as a developer. And then it made me go, oh, remember when they put out Broken Age and they put out the documentary like about Broken Age? And so much too late last night, I started watching the documentary for Broken Age again because I backed that on Kickstarter. And and this was like, so, and I figured, and the reason I wanted to just bring this up is I bet there's a bunch of people who watch us. This was in 2012, so this was 9 years ago, who were not in any way in a place where you were like funding Kickstarters and watching documentaries about this game. If you don't know, very quickly, Double Fine were on the brink of bankruptcy, basically, and they wanted to make this new game. They didn't have any money, and they didn't want to go to a publisher. And they put forward a Kickstarter for $400,000 and an extra $100,000 to film the process of making this game. And in the 30 days, they raised nearly $4 million. And so they made a game that ended up being called Broken Age, and it's an adventure game, and it's pretty good. But even better than Broken Age is the 20-part documentary that came out of this, which was, each episode is between like 20 and 50 minutes of a genuine, amazing, no holds barred, completely like
all access,
honest, all access look at game development. And it is, he says in the second episode, the first episode is all about the Kickstarter, and then the second episode, which is this one, he's talking about that book in front of him is the book of how he writes his games. And each game he has this book that he starts free writing in. Anyway, he doesn't have the idea for the game, and he's just raised $4 million. And he's like, well, I didn't have the idea because I actually wanted the documentary to document the whole process. So the whole process involves coming up with what is the video game. So the first episode is him just trying to figure out like what the game is. And there are so many episodes in this doco where it's like, everyone is so stressed out and it might not work and the creative process is totally fucked and he has writer's block and these systems don't work and they don't think the game's going to be fun and it's going to slip its release date and they just show everything and they show all the fights and it's just the best look at game development and the creative process.
Cool.
I feel like the pressure when you're creating something that's been kickstarted is so much higher because people have already invested their own money in something that they haven't seen yet. And so you feel like you need to deliver for them rather than like a publisher, sort of helping you market the game, or you kind of creating something and everyone's seeing trailers and then deciding whether or not they want to buy it. It's like the pressure that surrounds game development. I remembered even just from like Indie Game, the movie, watching what those conditions were like for people and the stress of just putting your art out there for people to like critique or shit all over. But
it's a bit of a rare situation. In this case, remind me, Nick. So the Kickstarter was to just save the company and make a game, and it's a bit rarer for someone to start a Kickstarter for a question mark artistically versus a product or something that is in the pipeline. And so, like you're saying here, it's a weird set of circumstances that they literally was the Kickstarter to say we want to make a new game. That's it, like that. Because I'm trying to remember.
Our next adventure game. It was for an adventure game, right? Like, but we're going to make an adventure game, and publishers will not fund adventure games. we think that there's an audience out there who will, and so we're asking you for a bit of money for us to make an adventure game. And he got Ron Gilbert, who made a bunch of adventure games and worked on Secret of Monkey Island and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and then it just blew up, and then they and even after the 4 million, they still need to raise more money to actually finish Broken Age. But the fact that you get this along with it is just so fascinating. So if you go to YouTube and if you look up Double Fine documentary, it's called Double Fine Adventure. There's 20 episodes, and it is just I funded it at the time, and I remember like when an episode dropped, it was just like, this is the best day, because I'm going to see like a genuine look at it's like the Lord of the Rings documentary behind the scenes stuff on those DVDs. Yeah, it's just so good. So
yeah.
Cool.
So a documentary is actually what I've been playing.
I think people had a lot of respect for Schafer for this, and I think they just found a new appreciation. Like, you know, there's only a handful of developers who have names, you know, like that people know, and it's Sid Meier puts his name on on the box, right? But Tim Schafer was never like, it's not Tim Schafer's Brutal Legend. He'd already kind of established himself as someone that was pretty inspirational in the scene.
Having that accompanying personality that I think is important as well.
Well, he even says
to be able to get $4 million and not have an idea on paper is like testament to how popular he is and how much faith people have in him. And then
absolutely
this,
and it was, and because I haven't watched this since it came out, so I started watching it again last night, and it was like remembering all this. In the second episode, he literally says, we used to just put our names on the front of games. Like Grim Fandango his name is on the front of it, and he was like, it was an interview with a rock band. Like I can't remember who it was, but it was basically like, you have to act like you're famous before you're famous. Like just act like you're the shit, and then eventually you'll become the shit, and then that's how you get it. Because you're right, like Tim Schafer is still a name in the industry in a way that like most other developers aren't. And I've met Tim a couple of times and interviewed him for Good Game and for some other things, and he's just the most disarming, lovely dude. It really is one of those companies that is like powered by his generosity and creative spirit, and so getting a look at this is just, it's just such a delight. So I thoroughly recommend it.
Yeah.
Cool. That is what we've been playing. And at the very end, watching this week, let us know what you've been playing by heading to our Discord, by going to backpocket.gg and joining up there. You can let us know all the video games that you have been playing in probably the Pocketeers Club or the Game Den. There's some like the two best places to be able to be talking about video games. But we're going to talk some more video games after this short break.
Guys I was getting matched with on most dating apps were just not right. Like, these were bad men. So now after every awful date I have, I just tell them to join Allwood.
From parent IT company Isaac, Allwood is the dating app for the modern woman who's sick of being matched with assholes. Here's how it works. Men join thinking it will be an easy way to hook up, but what they don't realize is there are no women here. Allwood is just dicks. Now these guys will only get matched with people who share their interests. Interests like lying in their profile bios, not calling you back after the first date, and actually being married with kids. Let's hear from some of our unsatisfied customers. Don Juan DeFucco asks, where do ladies at? Biker Balls wants to know, why do I keep getting matched with jacked dudes who send me pictures of their dicks? And Sisyphean Penis has the self-awareness to ask, is this some sort of ironic Grecian myth punishment? Allwood. There are no women for you to harass here. It's just all wood.
Hello and welcome back to Back Pocket. Big thank you for Crossbuns, to Crossbuns and AllSyntaxErrors for the words from the sponsors there, and of course Allwood, Isaac Allwood, for sponsoring the show. It's just X, and I'm so sorry, Isaac, that is the phrase that will follow you for the rest of your life. We didn't mean for that to be tied to you as a person, just to you as a concept. And
At least you're not in the ad.
That's true. That's true. Are you in the ad?
Yeah.
There's a shot.
I'm the guy at the start.
He's the shrugger.
right.
True. Yeah.
Oh, my stupid camera.
Oh, you froze.
Yeah, it's doing.
But you
it's
look
doing
like
backwards.
you're wistfully gazing
true.
at the stars, wondering about the meaning of life.
About Allwood. So thank you very much to you. If you want to sponsor the show, then head to patreon.com/backpocket. Patreon is the #1 place that we get the majority of our money from, and we are so thankful to everyone who has decided to throw a few dollary-doos our way. And if you can't throw dollary-doos, then throw your eyeballs and your friends' eyeballs and your family eyeballs at us. And the best way to do that is by heading to our socials at BackPocketVids on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, or by going to backpocket.gg, and the links to all of our channels are there. We wanted to do a little gameplay of something that I've been excited about for a while. Steph's played a bit of, Gus really wants to play, and Pete refuses to play, and so instead is going to be running the behind the scenes.
Not interested.
Not interested at all. But Pete's going to interact with the chat.
Yeah.
But we wanted to jump into Ghost of Tsushima Legends, because this is one of those multiplayer games that got some heat when it came out. People were like, this is really good. Steph played a bit. She really liked it. And now that the PS5 version is out and it's about to become a standalone thing, it's probably going to take off again, because it's also adding raids very, very shortly. So Gus, you and I wanted to jump in and sort of like see what the deal is.
In a segment we like to call.
Very good gameplay. I was a little thrown.
I know you're a little thrown.
Somebody spent a really long time animating this beautiful title card.
So true. That's so true. Presented by Avexia, our good friend Avexia, a very good son to two people on this show. Remember when we didn't know much about Avexia, and he was like, "Hey, I want Destiny to be my logo." And it's like, oh wow, this kid must really love Destiny.
I mean, like,
and
Avexia,
I haven't really learned anything more about him.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, good. Now we've got that out of the way. Let's go to the game.
I sent you an invite,
Yeah.
Nick.
I'm going to jump in. Party game
There we
base.
go.
Is that how I friends?
Yeah. You
I
can go into that.
sent
Steph, I
you
don't
an
have
invite.
your audio coming through at all.
Oh, okay.
Thank
What
you,
about
Gus.
mine?
But I've got Gussie's.
There we go. Well, this is we're
How's
trying. Pete's pressing buttons
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
we
gotcha.
have all of us coming through, and Pete will be able to jump through our perspective. So you'll be able to see Steph being a samurai master, Nick being a samurai apprentice, and Gus learning basically what jump is, which is what I was doing earlier on.
It's been a while since I've played this, so I can't 100% remember about all the stuff, but I'm sure I'll pick it up when I go along the way. My favorite thing about this is that I'm playing a hunter class because, bow and arrow, stealthy, all that kind of stuff. So the hunter has to be very quiet and very inconspicuous. So, of course, their class item would be a giant flag that I wear on my back at all times.
But do archers need to be inconspicuous?
No, it wasn't they stood at the back ranks and they always had the flags when they were.
Yeah. But I think the whole thing with this game is that you're approaching all these camps trying to be really stealthy and like.
I mean, for sure.
Inconspicuous, and my flag is always just sticking out of the grass, showing everyone where I am.
Maybe people think you are just they think you are a sign.
Nick's mic is coming through his controller.
Done.
What?
Oh wow, you've pressed everything today. No, back in the day, instead of a road sign, they would have had little flags sticking up out of the grass, being like, this is turn left to go this way. Like if you lie in the grass, people see the flag and think that's just a signpost.
Maybe someone will see the flag and think, oh, someone has planted some hunters here, and this is the little flag to show that this is where they grow.
Steph, we're ready to go. All you need to do is
you want to do survival?
Well, it's a wave mode, and I'm I don't know if you guys know, I'm pretty fond of wave modes. Or
Story?
Yeah.
Story then?
No, no, the
Survival, mate. We don't want to listen to cutscenes.
No, we don't have to, because the story stuff's meant to be quite good because he literally tells you, talks.
It's good.
Through
I played a couple of them today. They're really fun.
If we do silver, I'm going to be very under-leveled, so I'll
Steph,
stick with
You're the highest level.
We've already picked the game. It says 2 of 3 ready.
What?
Down the bottom right. 2 of 3 ready. Survival quick
oh
play.
my gosh, you've done it for me. How did you do that?
We talked about this in the tech rehearsal.
I'm the party leader.
I'm a party leader. Well, I think it was when you were talking about flags. That's when Gus was like, I don't have time.
Well, it's
look at this. Look at
it's a gripe I have. It's a gripe. I've got a vent about it.
If only there was a segment where you could gripe about vents.
Well, then, if you play more of it, Steph, describe to me the thing I skipped over, which is, this is fantasy?
Yeah, it's in order for this to exist outside the main story, which follows the Mongol invasion of Japan, they've created a kind of scenario in which there is a kind of a corruptive magical force that is, infecting everyone, and so you're not just fighting people, you're kind of fighting against this dark magic that's corrupted people.
It makes sense. It's a good way to do it, and then be like, we can have abilities and crazy things like that as well. Was it swipe down to do? Oh, there's bow. Swipe down on the gamepad. Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
This is the game.
Oh gosh,
Okay,
got to
cool.
sort out. Well, should we try and should everyone? Oh, she's got a flute.
Oh,
This is how you change the weather in Ghost of Tsushima.
Has someone heard us? This is probably not the stealthiest thing to do. Well, we should at least try and stealth the first little area, but these are essentially, from what I can see, 3 points that we need to control. It's like a... Oh, Nick's already off. Nick's off with the bow.
He's been stealthy.
Very good, very good. Oh, great.
Should I shoot someone?
It's fine, Pete. It's fine.
How do you grapple onto the roof?
Guys, they've seen me.
Oh, I missed.
I don't know if I can grapple.
Headshot. There we go.
And the old sneaky stab.
Oh,
I'm just
Stephanie,
I'm gonna do a
aim better.
big old sword fight in the middle.
There we
Just
go.
be really
Well, you're a Ronin, so what's your special ability?
I think I do revives. And so if we all go down, I can revive 2 people at once, and I don't have to come and stand.
I was gonna help.
Are you gonna play flute? So
Damn.
then
That was so much sass, Gus. You're gonna play flute? Is that what you're gonna do?
Nick, your face disappeared, by the way, when you get a sec.
I just would like to die.
Pete, have you seen this? There's grapples just that they're in the air. Steph behind you. Steph behind you.
What?
Steph.
I love
Nice.
any multiplayer.
I mean, if you're confused about where I am, just look for the giant blue flag I have on my back
Very true.
at any time.
I love any multiplayer experience with Gus is just Nick.
Look,
Nick,
look,
behind you.
Look at me.
Look at this.
Look at me.
sir,
Look at me.
sir.
Steph.
Look,
Steph, behind you.
Look.
Pete. Pete. Who am I? Who am I, Pete? What am I doing? Okay, cool. So we've captured the camp. That's a good job. We've still got an outpost and a mine to do. Which one do you want to do next? Oh, wow. Steph's just going for the mine.
Well, I think we'll do the mine because from what I saw when we did a quick little run of this is that they can take it back. They can take areas back, I mean. So I don't know if it's all about just being really fast or whether or not we can...
Well, it's probably
Where is Gus?
it's probably not letting them. They probably move back there, right? As opposed to speed. Like they may be doing a thing where they try to get back, and
That's true. They could
let them do it.
Well, it did say something about... Oh, Steph, you're so much faster than I am. That like whether it is in waves.
Oh my
so
goodness! I'm gonna hit this drum.
can we?
Intentionally?
Yeah.
Steph, we can... Oh, nice! That was like a hit from each of us and an arrow from Nick. I was going to ask, like, what happens when we start both... don't say double team. When we both attack
Triple
the same
team.
enemy. Triple team. That's...
What do you mean?
You just kill them faster. That's
You
all.
just
yeah,
kill
I
them
was like...
faster.
well, yeah, I was just checking...
It's
that
triple
do
the
a thing
amount of
where it's
swords.
Gus, jump back on your swings, mate.
I don't know.
There we go.
What were you trying to express with that? Like,
I wondered if, like, you've engaged combat with someone, whether or not it's like, okay, you and that person are having a sword fight, and not someone else can't do damage to them. But hang on, Steph.
Gus, look
Hey, guys, hey, guys, hey, guys.
Gus.
Hey, guys,
Steph,
look
get
at
on the swing.
Guys.
Steph, get on the swing.
No, come on. We gotta get to the
All
outpost.
three on one swing.
Triple team this swim.
Triple team swing.
Nick, can we get in time? Can we? Oh.
Okay. Also, I think that are we in a wave mode or a capture mode? Because if we're
It's
in a wave
both,
mode,
that's
we're
what I
still
mean.
on wave 1. Yeah.
That's what I suspected.
Let's watch Gus because he's the one that talked a big game about let's be stealthy, and then is the only one who
He's
just
running
runs
ahead
in
of every
every
single
time.
I always wait for them to attack me.
Yeah. Wave man.
I like to parry,
Yay.
so I wait for them to attack, and then somebody else comes.
Oh,
Yeah, the parry's great. In
What
this
about? I want fire arrows.
Oh,
But
you know what else I can do? I can do sticky bombs. I think. Yeah, explode. Bleh.
Gosh, I've been waiting a long time to play this game, and
Sticky bombs.
it is super satisfying combat. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, whoever that was.
That was me.
I'm going to carry a barrel. Everyone.
What can you do with it? Oh, that looks. Wait.
Is it
Hold
looking
it.
excellent?
Hold it.
Looks
No, oh, serpentine. Stop it.
That doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Damn.
Sure?
Damn.
All right,
Poor
try and hit
game
it now.
design. Yeah.
Try and hit it now.
Really?
No, nothing.
Oh wow! I think you need
damn.
fire arrows. I
Put it down.
What if I throw a sticky bomb at it? I can't. Oh!
I think it was just fireworks. It was
Does
just a
somebody
celebrate.
need a healing drum?
I think
Yeah,
I'm
let's heal
okay. Let's heal up. Sir, we're being stealthy, please.
Oh, I love the kicks that she does. It's so cool.
Drums.
I also like the fact that you have an ultimate ability in this. So let's get serious here. Let's stop triple teaming for a second and actually.
Okay.
The samurai, hunter, Ronin, and what's the fourth one?
I've
Assassin.
got-
I'm
Puppy.
petting your ghost dog.
There you go.
I
I've got
can
a
pet the dog too.
Oh, I really should put my sword away before I do that.
You can each one has like an ultimate ability and a skill tree which you can upgrade. My samurai ultimate ability, which will show Pete. I'm getting at some point when we fight the next people.
Yep.
I'm gonna yell out, Pete, cut to me, and that's gonna be a cue for you, and it's a subtle.
What will you mean though?
Yeah, so that's gonna mean my camera's about to disconnect. I will mean. Oh, they're at mine. They're trying to take over mine.
Should we? They call it a
Back
mine.
mine, back
Everyone on the
mine.
Swing
swings.
back,
Everyone,
swing
Nick,
back.
you missed the swing.
No, it's fine.
Woo. I love that. Oh,
Now, what's
Get out.
the swing
Okay,
button?
Pete, cut
it's
to me.
just
Cut to me, Pete.
grapple.
On you, go.
What's grapple?
Oh,
Look at that
Oh,
shit.
right trigger
Ah,
step.
sick.
That was
Oh,
very
okay.
cool. That was very
Oh
cool.
yes.
It's the
nice.
archers. They're doing the. Oh, he's on fire.
That's those moments where you pass through the swords pass
Whoa,
through each other, and then it's like 8 minutes later.
Oh, there's so
someone
many
falls
coming. Gus is
into-
going
Yeah,
to healing drum.
love it.
Hang on. Should we fight around the healing drum? I'm going to hit the healing drum.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's the archers. Leave me
man.
alone.
God, I'm about to go down. Need a drum. Did you hit the drum?
He's already hit the drum. It's
God
gone.
damn it.
Don't serpentine.
needed the
They
drum
do
first.
serpentine.
And you know,
yeah.
drums in this time could only be struck once. That was a real thing.
That's the rule. It had something to do with honor.
I think you could only hit an auto drum once. Can you deflect arrows? Like if someone shoots at you, or is it
Can
just
in the game, and but it's an upgrade, and I believe it's probably an upgrade that you can unlock because there's a skill tree for each character class in this.
Okay.
As you level up, you get to unlock different things, which is super cool. I actually I'm almost like maybe this is just how because I've nearly finished the first island, but I haven't played any more since I last spoke about it on the show, and I'm thinking maybe this is just how I play the game. It's just like do this because this is heaps of fun.
There we go. Back to Outpost Camp, I think, is it?
Boulder of Light says if you're holding block, you can, but I don't know if it's exclusive to the story. Ooh. So maybe there's some mechanics that they've tweaked, removed, tuned differently in the multiplayer to make this wave mode work. Yeah.
I wish that they would be more aggressive with their attacks so that I can parry more. Because, I guess it's just the difficulty we're playing on, or it's wave 1 or whatever, and they will become more aggressive, but
Yeah, I think they will.
I'm going to let you guys go to the mine. Have we got everything? Defend camp, defend mine. Oh, right. So for every one of them we just defended, when a wave came, we got a currency in the top right, the little swirly thing. I don't know if that's...
Rhys has confirmed arrow deflection is part of a skill tree.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
What
is going on over there?
Do you need healing? Steph, do you need healing?
I think I've got dead health. I don't think I can get this health back.
Oh, yeah, I've got dead health as well. What's up with that?
Let's try anyway.
Shoot enemies
Oh
with
my god,
headshots.
she just hit it, Gus.
Oh, I just got here.
Gus doesn't need it. Does he need it?
I mean, I could always use some.
What's up
I'm
with
going to use my ultimate
okay.
ability.
We're going to get some headshots.
Is that what gives us our health back?
That's a miss.
Thank you. that's why I would want to pick not playing, so you can sit there and say things like, that's a miss.
Well, it's cut to you and you're looking like, your cursor was pretty much on his head.
Am I out of arrows?
You
Oh my
missed.
god, I'm down. Steph, behind you. Can
no.
Can you revive me? Gus, can you revive me?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Right, are you literally...
Oh, Steph.
Oh, no.
Parries.
Where are you?
Health is-
I died.
Mac-
I died.
Shit.
Mac and,
I let
Mac-
myself
To
get
the drum.
surrounded.
Oh, no.
To the drum.
Gus, can you use your ulti? Use your
Hang
ulti.
on.
Revive us. Revive
Oh,
us.
yeah. Whoa.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful.
That was perfect. Oh,
Did
God.
you even do a cool float up?
I'm down.
Awesome.
The kick when you're down. That one thing I was because again I've just jumped into this game today, and the first time I died in the campaign, I was like, oh, I'm knocked down, I'm dead. And then someone comes over and lifts your head and slices your throat. It was really confronting and unexpected. I've never seen a game decide to go, you're not dead yet. I could use.
So we've got a minute 28 to get another 15 headshots. What does that give us?
I'm not sure, but I've got 15 seconds left to be revived by both of you over there.
It's very cinematic.
I was too slow to get that arrow
I saw
out.
that. Thank you, Nick.
You're going to have to chain revive. It's very cinematic, particularly when you're kind of like...
We're overrun.
Yeah, I think
happened?
I feel like we dicked around too much at the start, and
Did they
we
maybe
need to
didn't act aggressively enough to take posts or something like that, so...
Did they maybe take an
yeah.
outpost and claim it back and then get it entirely? Waves completed 1 of 15?
Yeah, so the thing at the start is not a wave, it's just us securing the camp, and then the
securing
wave
the
mode
camp.
happens, which is why it felt so easy. I was like, this doesn't feel like a wave mode at all. They're not even attacking us.
And I know something about
Yeah.
wave modes.
Well, you don't, because you haven't unlocked it yet. You want to know something about wave modes. You're dying to know something about wave modes.
The story is really fun. We should play one of the story missions. And there's little puzzle
They're
things in there.
two-player, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, lame.
Ready up.
Oh,
Yeah, you can just ready on that one. Survival quick play.
Here we
how
go.
cool is my pose?
So Nanojune said, this is strange. I thought the co-op mode was like a story thing. And there are story missions that can be played in co-op in the Legends. And they are attached to all the fantasy elements that we're seeing, are they, Steph? They're around all this red, glowy fantasy stuff?
Yeah. So it's like a corruptive energy that has infected the land, and you have to kind of fight your way through it. But you can also
Hold your thumbstick to the right while you talk. Just Hold your right thumb. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, now you're an action figure.
Yeah. But there's also like different types of magic that you can draw upon and use in the game to like, you can kind of conjure platforms and do some cool platforming things, and you can, there's all kinds of stuff. It's really nice. It feels different from the main game in a way that's more gamey, which I like.
It actually, going through it, I didn't realize it feels like its own standalone thing, which is, I guess, is why they're making it standalone. But it actually feels like it could be its own thing, because it has the story things, this sort of co-op-y wave mode thing, and then the upcoming raids. Like it's a complete. It feels like a almost complete package.
Yeah, I'm interested in the raids. I don't know that I care much for this for the wave mode stuff, although I haven't really played much of it yet, so I should.
Yeah, give it a chance, Steph.
Give it.
I can't watch for
wave one, Steph.
Yeah, I know. But I'm surely waves 2 through 8 are going to be the same.
Well, it's going to be all the hardcore. They're not hitting me enough.
Yeah, and Steph and Nick already.
No, I'm with Steph.
Is in murdering.
Sorry, I'm with Nick, and Steph went into a different game with someone else.
Assassination.
No, wait, Steph's there with someone else.
No, Steph.
Oh, we pulled in a 4th player because we didn't turn off matchmaking, so we've now got Dark.
Oh, cool. Okay, good.
Good luck, Dark something.
Well, he's
You're
dead.
gonna have to carry.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get in there and
carry from the ground.
I'll save him already.
Sticky bomb.
Get over there. Who is it? Dark Wolf.
Dark Wolf 082500.
Woofoo.
All right, so we want to speed round and just like get all the areas quickly.
Yeah, let me just pick up some arrows because I need them.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if there's scaling. Like this is a 4-player mode, but does it scale when you have fewer players, or were you guys actually playing hard mode before without that 4th player? Was something we didn't confirm before we sent you off into the abyss.
Dark Wolf just went right in.
Okay, I just did something.
Dark Wolf's a go-getter.
I just did something very embarrassing. As a samurai, I was on a rooftop and I saw an enemy, and instead of leaping up to stab him with my sword, I gently went down a ladder next to him. I brought great shame upon.
No.
That's
the samurai way. The assassin way would be to jump and do that. The samurai way is to face them head on.
That's true.
Well, that's what a big part of the main game and the story is him grappling with the fact that if he's one dude trying to stop an invasion by himself effectively, he needs to not choose the path of honor, but choose the path of backstabbing people like a coward.
I think you said that's a big part of the story. I believe that you meant that's the only part of the story, Steph. That's the only part
Nick, I feel like you're being too hard on this game. That's not fair.
I love this game. That story is just like, oh, God.
We killed everyone.
Elsid 1000 says you're a Ronin, not a samurai.
That is true.
Don't forget.
Yeah, okay, no, so then that was shameful what you did. That was pretty.
That was very shameful.
Yeah,
Healing jump.
I would have been able to go down the ladder. Healing jump. Healing drum.
Okay,
what do we got? We got everything?
I'm standing in this blue circle. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that just means we're holding it. We're holding that.
Yeah, nice. You guys have that area. Mito Fanfare says Dark Wolf totally turned 21 last Saturday.
Oh, wow.
082500 equals August 28th, 2000. Happy birthday, Dark Wolf.
Happy birthday, Dark Wolf.
Is there a happy birthday emote?
Did you just
am I just watching Gus swinging past? He's just doing nothing.
No, I'm just making my way over there.
Look at me, Gus. Hey, Dark Wolf, look at me.
Was he looking, though?
We've counted...
we can press the button on the remote. I'm really bad at the archery.
At the arching. His Bikram yoga is way off.
All right, so what do we...
Low health, mate. You need a drum.
Ow.
Fine.
Oh, I came in for the kill.
Nice, Gus. That was good. That was
my honor's back.
Arrow.
We're losing to the stable.
I'm going to drum it. Does anyone else need help?
I need drum.
Yeah.
If you go to this one here, come to this one.
Everything's a drum.
Specifically the drums.
Mostly just the drum.
Me and Dark Wolf are at the stables, just cutting up a couple of baddies. He is going to town on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Wolf's got skills, man.
Want to do a good parry.
There's a 21-year-old reaction time.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I just want you to appreciate that I'm shooting a lot of arrows and helping you a lot, even though it doesn't seem like I'm there. It's because I'm shooting from the distance.
No, that's good. That's your entire job.
Yeah.
Wave 2, you guys are already doing better than last time.
Nice.
And Steph,
And it's probably not
there has
only
never
because
been
of
a
Dark
point
Wolf.
in this entire game where I've not known exactly where you are at all times.
Okay, good.
Where am I? That's the main question.
There is a considerable...
You're slowly
Where's
coming
the
down
next
the ladder,
wave?
Gus. That's
Yeah, you're on the ladder.
Where is the wave? Here?
Barracks is flashing, so I am over at
Are we,
barracks now.
are we
so
protecting
that-
barracks?
I'm hearing
Yeah, maybe.
a ramming on the door, like some big. Oh no, hang on.
Oh,
No,
stable,
back to
stable,
stables.
Oh,
Back to
stables,
stables.
stables. Back to stables.
Screwed.
Oh, I guess look at you guys running like a bunch of
Our
chumps.
sense of,
Oh no!
our sense of direction is poor.
Oh, you're
Oh.
deep behind enemy lines here, Gussie.
The way Ronan likes it.
The way Ronan Keating would have wanted
Ronan
it.
Keating appreciates being.
Oh,
Ah, yeah, look at that
Life is
guy.
a roller
God,
coaster.
brutal.
Holy shit, that's a lot of them. Has anyone got
That
an
is
ability?
so-
Nick, you've got an ability. You could do
yeah,
something
I've got
cool right
this
now,
here.
couldn't you? Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Yeah,
nice.
I have a super I can do, but I feel
it.
I
like
got a
it's
dog.
good
I'm
against
gonna
lots of
bring my
different
dog
people.
to battle. I assume it attacks people.
I don't want to use it yet.
Okay.
Because
The super
What?
is
Dodge.
Steph's super is about like hitting multiple headshots.
Yeah.
Ah, with your bow. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, your dog attack is good here, Gus. And
It's working,
my
is it?
one, yeah, my one, I just suck energy from people around, like when they're around me.
Oh,
Don't pet
yeah.
the dog,
So just
man.
like in
Don't
real
pet
life.
the dog. hey.
Hey. Sorry, that was me.
boss
Boss
wave
wave, boss
incoming.
wave.
Oh no, I'm gonna get up.
Shit,
Time to
we
get to
should've saved
grapple.
the supers.
Now it's
Time
time
to
for
get
my
to the
super.
grapple. Boss can't get me up here.
Gus immediately climbs up
I'm
onto a roof.
I'm being crafty and sneaky.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's only worked 50% of the time. Okay, enemies with headshots. Last time this happened, I think we need to actually do this, otherwise we lose. I feel like the enemies with headshots, that's part of why we lost last time.
Where do we go? To the dojo?
Well, yeah, I guess the dojo, yeah, it was flashing.
Gus is not going to the dojo.
I'm going.
Could somebody give me a push?
Oh god, they're all here.
Are they?
They've seen
Yes, my super.
everything. Oh, and you need to stay, someone needs to
Oh,
stay
we missed
in
it,
the
Steph.
circle.
You got to call it.
Right.
Someone needs to stay
I'm
in the
sorry.
circle.
There's the one on. Here, let's put some guys on fire. There we go.
I can
Gus, you
shoot
still
a
have your
I have my heals, so when maybe
Sticky bomb,
I'm
sticky
about
bomb.
to
die.
Yeah.
So there's clearly... This is quite challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, this is nuts. And this is... Okay, we need some headshots. We need some
nailed
headshots.
that. And now we have to go to where we have to go help Dark Wolf at the
Oh god,
stables.
no! Both of them are going. So two of us. Steph and I are going to go to
barracks.
barracks. Steph and I will go to
Okay,
barracks.
I'll
Nick, you
go
wanna
help Dark Wolf. Yep.
All right, Steph. Oh my god! All right, in I go. Pete,
Here we go. Oh no!
I need a healing drum.
You did one light attack.
Dark Wolf
got
is
hit
down.
in the
Dark
back
Wolf is
and then
down.
ran away.
Shit.
He's in the drum.
Oh god.
Oh, you ducked under that axe. Did you get him?
I got him up.
Nick,
I
you're
got
down?
him.
Oh hell
You
yeah!
down?
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hell yeah! No, Nick's fine.
Yes.
I'm
Oh my
good.
god, those big guys with the pole arms are so intense.
Yeah. Alright, Steph.
Hang on,
Murder.
Nick, you down? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
work
down.
out.
Nope.
I've got a big guy. I'm just
Yeah, you better run. You better run.
Steph, behind you. Help.
Ooh, I didn't know. Sorry.
No, I got this guy who's giving me grief. Hey,
Not anymore.
nicely done.
Not
Right,
anymore.
to the stubble.
Jesus Christ, there is a lot going on. That's a flashbang. That's a samurai
to me.
flashbang.
What are you doing? Hey! Okay. Now, this boy who cried wolf. Every time I cut to you, it's just like...
I did love crying.
swinging,
Peter, to
I'm
me.
swinging.
Boss wave defeated. We did it.
Hey, everyone get.
Nice.
Everyone have a swing.
Now you got an opportunity to sing happy birthday.
We need a drum. We need a drum.
The drum's right here. I'm gonna strike it.
All right. Don't strike it yet.
I'm gonna
Strike
strike it in 5,
quick.
in 4.
Oh, hang on. All defense areas reactivated. I'm here.
Oh, that's good drum. That's good drum. Oh,
Terrible,
that's such a
Muriel.
sweet drum.
Terrible. I want some more arrows. If anyone sees any arrows, let me know.
So there's some here, Steph. You know the little collection points, like that thing?
Yeah. Yes.
What's
And
this?
that thing?
Oh no, that's
Nice.
you pointing.
So
at
you're at
stuff.
wave 4 of 15.
Oh, here they come.
Barracks.
gosh.
Barracks.
We've awoken the hive.
Do you have a
Everything is
limited
gone.
amount of knockdowns?
I shot that guy in the foot.
I think a couple of flame arrows might just.
What are
stir up a little bit
the what are
He's
the
very
pink
alone
ones?
over there.
Yeah. I'm feeling
Nick, where are you? I'll come to you.
I'm at barracks. But there's no one here right now.
Oh, I have no arrows left.
I don't think yellow
Arrows
flashing
left.
is bad.
Turns.
I think
Welcome back.
I don't know. What does yellow flashing?
yellow flashing is just like
Oh, there's a dude here.
One. Look,
Yeah, but like,
Is yellow flashing imminent attack?
A dude here.
And then red
the other
is
two are
under
like in the
attack?
middle of like 40
Oh,
dudes.
right. Okay, right. Okay, how about I go help? Well, it was more. The surprise was more around the idea of like, what does yellow flashing mean?
Front gate,
Okay, they're all
front
coming
gate.
to the front gate. Front gate.
Arrows.
Good angle, Gus.
oh, fuck.
They heard the arrow land. They all turned to look at it.
Oh no.
Hey, headshot.
Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Time for a swing.
Not good. Drop it. Duck and roll. Swing.
Oh god.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh.
Oh.
That was very graceful, Steph. You did a little jump and then a stab.
Yep.
Oh, some of the archers take a couple of headshots.
Barracks is fine. Dojo's fine. Stable's fine.
Peter, dramatic pen over here if you need one.
Oh, lovely. Wave 5 already. What's that white smoke in the distance, Gus?
Where are we?
Ooh, yeah, a shrine or something. Let's
Swing to
find
that.
out.
Front gate. And there's a
swing
I'm
to
gonna
that.
use one of
front
my
gate.
explosive arrows. I think I have like this thing.
Yeah, do it.
Bam. Oh, I missed.
Oh, damn.
Oh my god! And your character just
Peter.
yelled, "My arrows never miss."
Amazing.
I don't know what this thing. Oh god, I should probably go back to the battle, shouldn't I?
Yeah, there's quite
shit,
a fight
what's
going on.
here?
Okay. Roll back.
God.
It was
Oh,
nothing, Peter. It was
flashbang.
nothing. There was
That was
nothing over
bad.
here.
That was bad. That was
my
very
God,
bad.
double
Oh my
flash,
gosh.
double
Oh
flash.
my gosh. Stay away. Stay
That
away.
flashbang is. Oh my god!
When's
Where
your
is that coming from? It's so effective.
Far out. Don't
well,
do
that,
it.
that guy's going. That guy's going. Look away! Look away! Steph, when's your ulti up? You got to use it on the next wave.
Okay.
You let one guy get through to barracks, I think.
Oh, I'm
really?
sorry, guys.
Are you
I'm gonna
No.
follow Dark Wolf because he
Were you
seems to
just
know what
on
he's
that
doing.
roof the entire time?
No, he was on the other side of the map.
There's actually two big axe boys.
Those two big fellas, yeah.
Ooh, ow.
Oh, owie, owie, owie.
I'm gonna use my ultimate now, Peter.
Yep, watching.
Oh wait, no, I can't yet. I can't yet.
Oh no, so close. That would have been perfect. There's so many dudes to kill.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys going to barracks?
Yeah,
I
all
used
good.
my explosive
Dojo's
arrow,
under.
though.
We need to head to Dojo
Dojo
now.
is.
Yeah,
we
Steph's-
really-
Right
Steph's
now,
at
now
Dojo.
I'm gonna use it. Now I'm gonna use it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
the
watch
Dojo.
Get to Dojo. Someone needs to
Yeah, she's
stand
at-
in the
she's at it.
circle.
Do it,
Yeah, but
do
you
it.
need to stand in the circle. In the circle, otherwise it keeps
Incoming puppy.
keeps going down. Pet that
you got
dog.
one.
I think everyone was dead.
I
Dog's
think
here for support.
Barracks
Wolfie
is dead.
killed a bunch.
Oh damn. I shouldn't have waited. I should have just gone for it. It's hard.
Okay.
It's hard to anticipate when things are gonna happen.
Blakeface says the white smoke that you went to, Gus.
Yep.
That's where you can spend points on the perks.
You can get points for perks.
And you're up to Shut Your
currently-
Eyes, which is a boss wave according to Mac and Dagda.
I'm currently perkless.
I'm
Where are
perkless.
they coming from?
I think someone was on the roof. Oh no,
Well,
it's
open
you
the oven
guys.
with your
That's me.
perks down.
If there's someone on the roof, Steph, it's always going to be this guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
a
shiny.
flashbanger.
He's dead. Ooh.
Oh, this
big
boss.
fella.
This boss.
Lily Peppermint, this is
Dead. He's heaps
Ghost of Tsushima's Legends
Dojo.
dead. Dojo.
mode.
You can't say that fast. Dojo. Ooh, arrows
God,
though.
are
Can we get
gonna
that by
make it there in
roof?
time?
Can we
Are
get
we
that by
gonna
roof?
make
We
it
can
in
get that by
Oh,
roof.
you're not going to make it.
Not if we go by
I think
floor,
we're
but
gonna
by
make it in time.
roof.
Oh
Next
my
close,
god,
next
there are
close,
so
next
many
close.
of them.
Ulti. Yeah.
Oh, Nick's in
Good.
there.
Oh my god, I'm on fire!
Get in
No! Explosive arrow.
Oh my god, I'm down. I'm down.
Whoa!
Someone get to Jojo. Get in the circle. Gus,
I'm
get
just-
in the circle.
I'm just about to. I was doing my ulti. I'm back in. And now I'm flashed.
Get in it. Oh my goodness. And now I'm flashed.
And oh, he does a double. Oh, he's a cheeky boy. Oh, back in the dojo circle. Back in the dojo circle.
He's
Oh,
dead.
no.
He's
I'm
dead. He's
down.
gonna die.
Oh god, he's down. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Steps down. Nick, you gotta kill him and stay in. Kill. Yep. And now, pick me up. Oh,
Revive.
then we got to get to
Barracks.
barracks. We're not going to make it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck, we're not going to make this one. Oh my god, we're not going to make this
This is
one.
not good.
What if we just
Oh my
shoot
God, we're
them
not gonna
while
make
they're
this
in
one.
there?
First
That
defeat.
counts.
Oh, we lost
if my,
one. We lost.
If my arrow's in there, does that
okay, you can
count?
take it back. Maybe you have to lose multiple.
I think you have to lose all of them, but that
No!
sucks.
Okay, cool.
We were so close.
Oh, flashbang. Oh, the flashbang.
Oh.
I'm
down.
I'm down.
Steph.
Oh, Steph's the only one up.
Steph,
Still alive.
Down.
Steph, don't.
Steph, pickups. Steph, pickups.
Steph, chase him.
Oh my god.
Nice shot. That was good. That guy was running to the other base.
This is too
Thank
tense.
you, thank you.
Boss wave defeated. That's good. That should be.
Everyone's revived, and
everyone-
I killed that guy that was running away.
Good
You
work.
should have a little reset
Get
now
to a
to
drum,
cool
get
off.
Do we all get
Drum.
health or do we all get to a drum?
Your reward tier's increased. You guys should be going and getting perks somewhere, I reckon.
I think he's right. Let's drum it up and head back to where we spawned. There's that, little pillar of light.
Yeah, follow Dark
Wolf's
Wolf.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you hit that drum, Dark Wolf. God fucking damn it. Are you serious?
Did he do it?
Yeah.
It was his birthday. Give him a
Rick.
break. Hey, give him a break. It was his birthday.
Okay.
We're at a drum.
Perks. Regenerate ghost health.
Ignite
Summon
enemies.
spirit.
Dojo? No, that's yellow.
How much do
Ignite
we
That means
have?
Ghost.
but that means imminent attack, doesn't it? Yellow? Didn't we decide that?
Generate ghost health. Sure. Do we all get this? Shouldn't we all just
all
buy
got-
something?
Yeah, you should all just buy something.
Well, you're spending
up.
currency that I no longer have now, so I assume we're all getting it.
Okay, yeah. So if
does
you press
everyone
up
have-
on the D-pad ignites enemies?
No, you all bought a different
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
the D-pad.
I bought like
Okay,
everyone's.
cool.
I've got
Skill.
everyone's regaining health. Dojo. Who wants to come to dojo with me?
I will. I'm coming.
Are you close?
Alright. And Nick, what are you on?
I'm gonna go dojo as well.
Yeah, cool.
Oh my
swinging a
god.
I'm gonna use my ultimate ability. Bleh.
Set enemies on fire. Yes, that was dope.
Nice.
Yeah, it was sick.
Beautiful, Nick. Beautiful.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
so good.
this.
That's
Yeah,
so
eat it.
powerful.
Oh,
Sucked in.
That's so powerful. That's so
That's
good.
our dojo, you dicks.
nice.
Wait, did they run away?
They do. Do we have to stand
Back at the main gate between stable and what used to be barracks.
Now you have a
Gotcha.
bear, Gus?
Oh fuck, there are so many of them.
Do I?
Arrow. Oh,
These
Yeah,
guys
main
are
gate.
wearing heavier armor as well.
Yeah, they definitely
These
are.
guys aren't fucking
arrow.
around.
You're welcome. Arrow.
Happy birthday.
Oh, that guy's got his shield up. But I can still get a cheeky arrow over there.
Oh, he left a little bit under his arm.
And let's look at Gus. He's on the roof. No, he's not on the roof.
I'm going. I'm trying to
Sticky
by
bomb,
land.
sticky bomb. Yeah, Nick boy. Did you see it?
Nice.
Did you see my sticky
That's
bomb?
Nick.
I did.
Oh shit, that's my bear.
That was,
So we've got
think
barracks
so.
back.
Oh my god, ghost
you're walking
bear?
a bear.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pet it. Oh,
She's confessed.
It's like an
it's so
upgraded.
Look at his little face.
Oh.
New wave.
Oh god.
So it must be when we defeat a boss, we must get the area back because barracks is back. We've got them all.
Front gate spicy.
Front
is
gate is
spicy.
spicy.
Oh, I should use my explosive arrow. Yeah.
So it looks like
my
that
flaming
ability
arrows?
we bought is a one-off. I think. Is it?
Oh, really?
Possibly.
I used
We
mine,
all.
but it doesn't look like it's recharging.
Oh, no. Well, you're getting good points now. You spent 400 on that, and
Yeah.
you were down to like.
I was down to
Oh
like 40
no, I
or
did not
something,
see that
yeah.
guy. I did not
and
see that
so
guy.
you've already got 120
Yeah.
in this round.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna
Whoa,
become
big
more
guy
and
with horns
more
on his helmet.
Important.
All right.
Oh,
Sword for the
Nick's in
rest.
trouble. Nick's down.
I'm so
Bam.
down.
Is two are down? Let me see.
Nice, Steph.
Can I
Good.
ulti? I can't ulti. All right. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
stable.
You come back
stable.
here. What?
Okay, here we go.
Dark Wolf's down, but he's gonna, or them, they are gonna. The wolf will revive. The wolf's
The
coming back.
wolf. The
I'm
wolf will
fighting- I'm
return.
holding-
Dojo.
Don't
Dojo.
you do that?
Oh,
Fuck.
Gus, what are you up? You're
I'm
trying to
holding
save the
stable
dojo?
solo, but it's rough.
Stable.
I'm heading back to
Dojo is
stable.
about to fall.
Oh, I'm gonna go to dojo.
Seth.
I'm going to
Go
dojo.
Too
I'm
many
going to
at
dojo.
stable.
Oh
my
no,
gosh.
this is looking bad.
Oh
And
man.
barracks
Oh, there's
again.
so many. Oh god. Don't you shoot me. Don't you shoot me, sir.
Big
I am
swing
one
up.
woman
Good dodge,
against
good
an
dodge.
army.
Gus is
I'm on
doing the
fire.
same.
I'm on fire.
Oh,
Oh,
Nick,
that
you
guy's
and
got to
Wolf still
go.
down?
That guy's got to go
I'm gonna go
first.
to stable.
Yeah, okay.
Wolf
I
is
could
with
use
Steph,
some help.
right? Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
I'm stable.
I'm coming, guys.
I need some help
I'm
with
coming.
the big chunky boys.
Nah.
I'm coming.
He got me on the
Huh,
what do you call it?
Oh.
The follow through.
I'm down. Oh, Nick's here. Thank God. Oh, what timing.
Timing.
That was good. Now finish them off.
Dark Wolf rezzed me as a ghost. Cool.
Oh my god, I have no health.
Yeah.
I am
Oh, Nick's down. Is that it?
I'm down.
Nick's dead.
I had no health.
Steph, can you get to...
Barracks or the others?
Stable.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Dark
Stable,
Wolf's coming for me, I think. No, Dark Wolf's running away. Dark Wolf, you coward. Dark Wolf.
Dark Wolf!
I saw his little silhouette,
reaching
and
out.
then he just turned left instead of right, and I'm like,
Hey, brother.
Uh-oh.
Steph, you got your ulti up?
and that's
No.
it. That's the game.
Oh my god.
Do something, Pete.
It's a lot. It's a lot of panic running from point to point, isn't it?
Panic roofing.
Oh, that's good though. That's a real sense
rewards.
of being overwhelmed.
7 of
Totally.
15. 15 is a lot.
Did you feel those waves, Nick? They were crashing over us. It was just that's wave mode.
That's a wave mode, baby. That's a wave mode.
And we got essence, honor, and some. Are they like consumables or? I don't know what they do.
The reward, do you mean?
No,
Yeah,
that's like, those are new
Was that
swords,
gear?
and that's gear. Yeah, so your gear
Yeah.
is tied to.
And
So if you go to your character now, it's
Yes.
tied to your key level. So the
the
higher your key, which is that little sort of almost lightning symbol, then the more powerful you are, and all your gear just attributes to your overall level, which is the top left above the word Ronin.
Bishop says that whole thing was lost when Gus decided to not be on the roof anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I appreciate it, Bishop.
And
Thank
you unlock new sort of charms that give you different stats as well, and then there's like different melee weapons and stuff that you get. So I have you have the kunai, which you can throw, or I have the sticky bomb, which I love, or you can pick up dirt and throw it in their faces.
Oh
which is
wow!
like the
So I had a
least
basic
cool.
charm.
How many points do you have to spend on dirt?
Depends how high level the dirt is, because it's high level dirt. You know.
I've got a level 19 dirt, which is very good.
That's a huge dirt.
But
It's
I've
also,
also
like
got-
it's also like attaches to an enemy and explodes, staggering anyone caught in the blast. That's the sticky bomb. And then the dirt is throw dirt at nearby enemies, causing them to cough.
That's good. That's good.
Because in this COVID world, if the others see them coughing, they'll be shunned from the civilization for
Oh wow! I've got increased damage from all ghost weapons. So, oh no, I thought that meant to everyone who's other ghosts, but that's just good damage. Okay, cool.
And
them
I
to
also
cough.
unlocked a healing gourd as well, which gives it's on a 90-second cooldown, but you can heal yourself for 90.
Mine can only do 25, so I obviously got.
Sorry, 90-second cooldown, heal yourself for 25, which I could have used.
Yeah, right.
Increased base health, parry, and then I can parry incoming arrows while blocking as an upgradable thing, which I can actually definitely afford.
No new
That's
emotes.
a fair
though,
point,
guys.
Silver. They're
No
all
new
wearing
emotes.
masks to protect themselves from the COVID dirt that you're throwing their way.
It's true.
Oh, I want this emote. Pete, you've got a sec. There's an emote called Purge where you just throw up blood.
Jeez Louise,
Amazing.
that's hectic.
That is.
That's
I don't like
a
it.
real spray as well. It looks like it's coming out of your nostrils.
Is there a happy birthday emote?
There's Banzai.
That's
where you
nice.
just
That's
throw
confetti.
something. Yeah.
I just want to unlock a sword effect. That's the coolest thing, and I haven't unlocked a single one yet. I think you have to complete really intense challenges to be able to get those.
I love that Steph's
yeah, okay,
doing all these cool
that's
sword
boss.
flickers, and
You
if you
do.
come back to me, Pete, it's like
I'm
just
swinging.
throwing up blood. But
Pete.
oh god.
So I also love, like, there are so many outfits. Look at this one. Look at this.
He's
Oh,
dead.
appearance.
Yeah, that's sick. That's
That
sick.
is so
Oh, he's bleeding
cool.
everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Unlocked by completing the feat, collect weekly rewards. I can collect weekly rewards for 7 weeks in a row. That's amazing. Fuck yeah. This is cool. I love this. I want to keep playing this. This is now how I'm going to play Ghost
Oh
of
my
Tsushima.
god, look at my hats. These are cool hats. They're all ones you can't see out of.
Yep.
See, the other
Very
class
like
that I've
Onion
unlocked
Knight.
is the assassin. That's pretty cool. This bunny mask.
It's a basket with 2 swords stuck through it.
It's a magic trick.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
That's very dark. That's very Sekiro.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Love it. Cool.
These are cool.
This
Nice.
is good. This is good.
This was fun.
I'm going to keep playing this for sure. This is actually how I want to play this game. And I'm really curious to see what they do with these, like, raid things. Whether
Yeah,
it's like
I'd be keen to try the raids, but you should totally play the story missions as well because they're really fun.
I have. I've played like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
They're totally fine. But it just feels like more of the game. Like,
Did you play them by yourself, Nick?
I played them co-op just with some weirdos
Brenda?
who were having birthdays.
Running around on the ground like a bunch of
But
idiots.
they are good. They are actually cool. In fact, I do like them more than the actual story because the first one I played is like you need to rescue these twins, and it turns out that the baddies have kidnapped the twins and killed them and pulled out their hearts, and their hearts are in this chest still pumping, and then the hearts are what give this regenerative power to everyone you're fighting. So when you're fighting them, they heal really, really quickly. So it becomes way harder. It's because they're linked by the power of these twin beating hearts. Pretty cool.
Gives them so much. Gives them a chance to do a lot more like creative storytelling than, as you said, the very grounded but still like a bit dull idea of honor and war kind of thing.
Blake says there's already one raid out. Oh right, okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
Then why am I seeing?
And so, how many players is the raid for?
Well, I'm seeing rivals. I thought that's what the raids would have been, and they say that they're coming soon.
I know that. Oh, yeah, okay. I know that there was like stuff that we had to unlock, and we had to do the story stuff before we could unlock some of the other modes. But if it's saying that it's not even there, then maybe it's not out yet. Let's have a Google. Let's Google.
Let's all Google.
I want to know what the raid is. Blakeface, give me more information about
Balance,
the
you
first raid that's out.
Ask if this has a companion app. And I don't think it does.
Tale of EO is the raid.
It does look like it's becoming quite a fully fledged game as a service kind of thing.
But this is still paid for. Like it's
standalone.
People are
release,
talking
but
about it like
paid
it's like they've played it. So
Oh, okay. It's called Challenge. Right. Okay.
Challenge Chapter 1, The Tale of Io, requires
you need
4
to complete
players.
and you need to complete all story missions to unlock.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I can also get behind this because I love the idea of the raids
doesn't-
and the challenge
sorry.
missions, and it's like they're all in a menu. Versus, I loved a little bit of Destiny 2 the last week, but having to run around and talk to people and be like, "Wait, is this a raid? This is a strike. This is all in a menu." I'm like, this helps. I like this.
That's why you need the companion app.
there's no matchmaking for raids, so you have to have a crew if you want to do it. And
Yeah, right.
apparently, like you have to be pretty diligent with having
Banging drums.
No, having a range of classes because it's like
I
you
can
need
imagine,
someone
yeah.
to be healing and you need someone to be doing stuff.
So Rivals is the PvPvE mode, like Gambit. Interesting.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, great. Oh, there's tons of stuff here. Okay.
There is, isn't there?
All right, I'm going to keep doing it.
That's
If
a lot of
anyone wants to do
game.
it with me. Between
Nice.
this and Destiny, I'm not going to have time to play anything
I
else.
know. That's the problem.
All right, let's throw to our second ad break, and then we'll shut this puppy down so we can set up a post show.
All right. See you soon.
The following is a paid advertisement for the RhysWild Music Collection.
Take the power of rock and a man who loves rocks. And you got yourself RhysWild's Rock Songs, a collection of some of Rhys's best rock songs. Oh, hi. I'm Stephanie from Steph and the Back Pockets. We've been rocking together since July 2020, but no one I know rocks harder than Rhys. And now, all of Rhys's best rock hits are together in one 82 CD collection, including such hits as Make Love Not Ore, Lime After Lime, Chalk on the Wild Side, Wouldn't It Be Nice,
me and Dwayne Johnson. And 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Sandstone. Just 4 easy payments of $99.99, plus GST, plus taxes, plus customs, plus import fees, plus local taxes, and you'll have access to all of Rhys's back catalog, including his breakthrough single, My Love Is Like a Rock Slide. We even cover his later years, when he was just phoning him in. Can you feel the love, Granite? All about that bassonite. You're the one that I want to be fossilized in. Rock. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm Quartz. I just called to say I love rocks. And who could forget Rock Lobster?
I love rocks, and so does Rhys.
With a collection as timeless as a naturally occurring mass of solidified mineral matter, you'd have to have rocks in your head not to rush to the phone right now and order your very own copy of the RhysWild Rock Music Collection. Because unlike a gemstone with a reciprocal of compressibility of 443 gigapascals, this deal won't last forever.
Seen? Camo! Want to hide in plain sight? Camo! Want to spy on deer? Camo! Want to shoot those deer? Camo! Want to get close enough to a pack of deer that you could dress up as a deer, gradually earn their deer trust, become accepted as one of their own, wait until the stag dies and inherit alpha control of the herd, guide that deer herd for a decade until you're the most celebrated deer elder, and then shoot that deer and mount it on a fucking wall? Camo! Camo camping equipment. You've seen the rest, now try and find the best. You can't, because it's camo.
Welcome back. Thank you very much to Dolphinpants and Lisdalia and Rith for your word from our sponsors, and of course to RhysWild and Kamo for your
I love that ad.
Patronage that made us make commercials for you. I was about to say for the commercials, and it's like, well, you didn't send those in. You just send in the money that paid for those commercials, which is impressive nonetheless. But yeah, I love that RhysWild one. I feel like that's the second time we've played this on this show.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Unlike Gus, I haven't got sick of these things yet, so I'm very excited to be able to hear it. Okay, let's read it out.
His face.
I know.
He's done. He's fucking done. He wants to be on a roof somewhere.
Dreaming of steeples.
You could get in that. You could get in that.
That's a good X. Here he is. Wait, this will be.
Pete, look at me.
It's very good physical comedy, Gus. Have you considered improv?
It's really just puppetry of being a human, so it's like being a puppeteer, but you know,
it's the puppetry of the anus. Is what he's actually doing.
Puppetry of the anus.
We went to a commercial to come back to simply say good night, but we also came back to say a big thank you, of course, to everyone for watching tonight. A truly enjoyable evening that I feel like has lifted the spirits of everyone involved.
Confused Echidna. Gus, why are you? I ask myself that question regularly. I still don't have an answer.
Manny G says, excited for the Dream Analysis post show. If you want to get excited about that post show, then you just need to join the 3rd Patreon tier or above to get access to the Raj sponsored post show, which happens over on YouTube, and you get the link in our Discord. To get that link, just head to our Discord channel and you'll find that there. The people who definitely have that link are some of the top stitchers who have joined at such an astonishing level on our Patreon that the only thing we could possibly do for you is make weird commercials that hopefully one day you'll show your children and go, this is what mummy or daddy did for a couple of $100 to an internet show. For some reason they came up with this. Those people are Rhys Oronishi, !Tim. He's done. He's dead to us now.
Exclamation mark
Strike
Tim
off
is
list.
gone. Oh, that's so
gone.
sad. 2 days gone.
It's super
2 days
sad.
gone.
Oh,
It is super sad. Well, I mean, it's not really sad because it means
No,
that he
he's
cashed
having a
out
great time.
like a fucking hero.
I know.
He's like
Still sad.
you seen Wolf of Wall Street? Tim's that scene where Leonardo DiCaprio throws the money at Coach Taylor. Off the boat.
No, it's far
that's what
more.
Tim's
I think
done.
it's far more wholesome than that. Right now, it's been 2 days, so right now Tim has arrived on the beach. Morgan Freeman's finishing painting the boat, and he's just walking up to there, and they just recognize it's Shawshank Redemption. Does no one remember the end of Shawshank Redemption?
I thought they were on a beach.
walks up. I said on a beach.
You said on a boat.
I thought they were in
No,
a
he's
sewer.
painting a boat. Morgan Freeman arrives, and he's fixing the boat, and he's like, "You made it."
I thought they were tarring a roof.
That's halfway through the.
That's where I stopped watching. He gets out.
He really does do that swing well, doesn't he?
He does.
There's
It's
something
very
about
good.
It's the
He's
grip.
got the right-
The grip is very believable.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gets a good swing.
It's all about the momentum on the way through. When you.
You know, he's been practicing this all day. This is.
I'm just there crying, just off camera crying.
Just go. By the way, I
cry.
will say I do love those moments. Like, for example, when I was playing 12 minutes a couple of weeks ago on stream and hit that twist, and there's like a massive reveal, and during. Oh no! It was during a stabbing. It was when I stabbed my pregnant wife.
It was just during
it was during the stabbing.
casual stabbing.
And the second stabbing, I think, where he slit her throat, and everyone chat's horrified, and I'm like, "Oh, my donuts are here." Now my donuts were just sitting next to me, and I ran off screen. But there is that moment where it's like you run off screen, and then you're like just standing
have to
off
wait.
screen in the corner of a room.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in a play and you're waiting in the wings, and there's an audience there and stuff. It's like I'm just standing out of shot. And it's like I'm just looking.
I love the idea that Beck walks
It's
down
like-
the hallway with a phone there and a child and like doing your taxes, and she looks and you're just like just standing there quietly
I'm
next
working.
to a camera
I'm
with,
working.
with a donut, being like, I'm working.
Yeah. This right here pays for all of this. Me standing off camera is what puts food on this table. What the fuck are we talking about? Thank you
Let's
to the
go
mods
on.
for making the Discord such an incredible place. Gat, Syntax Error, Kit Carnage, Lizdalia, Sith Cat, Phoenix Align, Disturbed, Jex, Caboose, What the Shark. You know who they are. You know them and you love them. And if you don't love them, show them some respect because they got powers that I don't even know about. There are some channels in the Discord even I'm not allowed in. I'm going to find them.
Hey, we had a teaser for the Game Club, which is for Death Proof. That drops next week, I believe. Is that correct? Deathloop, sorry,
week
not Death Proof.
after. Week
Oh,
after.
really?
Yeah,
14th,
I think
I think?
it's the 14th. Yeah, 14th. of
Oh,
September.
right. So, yeah, Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, the one after. All right. Well, we'll have some streams next week, I guess, then, just to plug those
You better
gaps.
believe we'll have some streams.
I need
I
to
feel
finish
pretty.
Road
I feel
96.
pretty confident about
Yeah,
Deathloop
you gotta
for you,
finish
Gus.
Road
I think it's gonna do well.
It's
I
previewed
wasn't-
really
I think
well.
it's- yeah.
I'm excited.
I
now.
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it because I feel like there was a lot of hype for it, and then I was like, "Oh God, it's setting itself up to be a failure." But I think it's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to streaming it because I feel like it's one of those games that I'd love to have an audience to just take notes at the same time, kind of like you had with 12 minutes, Nick. That you
Wish it was
like.
12 seconds was how long he lasted inside his sister.
Oh no, Peter.
That's
no.
post-show stuff, and you know as well as we all do.
That's
Peter
terrible,
just teasing
sir.
that's what the kind of stuff
No.
that'll
No.
happen in the post-show.
Peter. No.
Why? Why did you have to bring it to that
My
level?
phone.
That was-
She's too hot.
Up
That was very
Up until this
bad.
point, it was fun. It was lighthearted. I was doing the swinging thing. That was fun. And
You
you had
guys
to
were
bring that up.
were just finding out how many times you could stab her.
God damn it, Pete.
And then got right into the incest.
Pete?
My playthrough was so pure. It was so pure.
What's up, mate?
Can you save that kind of talk next week for Nut Chat?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good.
I love that Steph's like, my playthrough was so pure. It's still incest. There's still
It's still
if
incest,
you
Steph.
just block your ears and go, it was really pure. We had a really lovely night. The dessert was wonderful.
No, but
pure
the
incest.
intention
It was pure.
behind
The
it.
mug
The
of water
intention
was
behind it.
delightful.
Your Honor, the
I
intention
am untainted.
behind it.
I remain untainted.
Well, yes. You're going to play Final Fantasy?
If you're still awake,
Go
would
to
you be
bed.
able to the intro to next week's episode should be just that Pete's joke like repeated 4 times. What we did for Steph's what the fuck did you just say to me is 12 seconds is how long he lasted inside of his sister. His sister. There you go.
Sorry, William.
So my original segue, Nick, was that you're going to stream some Final Fantasy or Road 96?
I need to finish Road 96. I need to.
Okay.
It's like I loved it so much, and then it was just like all these other things got in the way. I needed to fuck my sister in that video game, and it was too many things took over, and so I need to get back to it. I can't stream it tomorrow because I have a day off tomorrow, and so I will stream it next week.
Yep. Nice.
Well, I'm getting jabbed in the arm tomorrow, so Pete, Steph, anyone streaming?
I'll do it.
Nice.
I'll do it. I'm not doing that bullshit Kingdom Hearts, though. Maybe I will. I'll see if I can build up to it.
Do some aliens.
No. We'll find something. I'll find something.
You'll figure something out.
I can't stream tomorrow, but I
will
wholly
discuss this.
support anyone else who does. I'll probably stream on my own channel on the weekend at some point. Maybe some Destiny. Gus?
Hey, I'm keen. I had to get my bearings back. I jumped back in. I think I've worked everything. I had to get a sparrow. I didn't have a fucking sparrow.
But I was there to help you with your sparrow.
You were there to help me dance in the middle of an abandoned,
which is a valid part of the game,
planet.
Gus. If you want to have fun and be whimsical on the planet of Europa.
Hey, Gus, tomorrow.
I was being Europed.
Is it a moon?
You're going to the same place I am on Saturday for
Europa's a moon.
For Pfizer, right?
I am, yes.
Can you take some pictures there so I know what, so we know what we're in for? Because it's like
that'll look sus. Yeah, I'll send you the Nat Tran video. She goes there. It tells you everything you need to do. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great video.
And it has jokes.
That's good.
And has jokes.
But yeah,
all right.
I'm keen to play Steph.
Nice.
We've spoken enough. Will, did you have a good night?
I did. I almost finished my nuts.
They're not nuts now.
They can be.
It doesn't count.
Anything's a nut if you think hard enough.
That's what got you through 12 minutes.
I'll save it for Nut Chat.
There was a lot there. There was a lot there.
There was.
The most important one was save it for Nut Chat next week.
Catch you later, guys.